you know,
Mr. Goldin, there's more to come after what you presented yesterday.
Yes, we have some additional ideas as well, and some more specifics on certain issues as well. But you know, we're in an environment where we have seen in the past where we have suggested things and the other side has said they can't work, and then shortly on, sometime thereafter, they announce those things and treat them as their own ideas. And,
you're talking about the idea of the prepaid electricity that they're now championing as the call for the government.
There you go, you know, and so, you know, we're mindful of that, and, you know, we don't know when the election will be called. We're working on our manifesto, and, you know, the budget debate was a good opportunity to set out, you know, the broad framework and some of our specific proposals as well. And, you know, I'm glad that it has, I believe, been well received by the public, because we're really trying to identify things that are achievable.
So we are now listening to the interview with Margk Goldin and Andre Stevens. Have Margk Goldin on his live right now, so we're listening to that right now.
You will stop taking monies out of the National Housing Trust?
Yes.
Mr. Goldin.
Yes.
You know that successive prime ministers, both JLP and PNP, has seen the NHT as the avenue to finance their budgets. This prime minister, I've done my research, over the 9 years has taken approximately $124 billion from the NHT. How you plan to stop doing that, Mr. Goldin?
All right, so the government of the day has been taking $11.4 billion each year from the National Housing Trust. It began at the time when Jamaica's back was really against the wall in terms of the public debt of the country, when we were facing financial disaster coming out of the government of Bruce Golding and then Andrew Holness.
The failed IMF test.
The failed IMF test, the withdrawal of support from the multilateral agencies, the IMF, the World Bank, the Inter-American Development Bank. And then we assumed office at the beginning of 2012, where Jamaica was, our name was in the mud.
Internationally, we had a bad taste in people's mouth.
That's correct. Took us a year to build back the confidence in the IMF. And in fact, it was the Congressional Black Caucus who really made the
people
difference.
Are listening to Margk Goldin on Andre Stevens' program.
Advocate for Jamaica. We did a survey and we engaged professional in for 4 years to the NHT and not compromise its operations. Yeah, and so we passed an amendment to the NHT Act that specifically allowed that for 4 years. At the time, the then opposition, the JLP, leaked out hard against it. An affiliate of theirs took the matter to court. They lost that case. The court said it was lawful what was being done, but it was never intended to do it for more than 4 years.
You're talking about the leader of the opposition, Andrew Holness, then? speaking to Dion Jackson. Mr. Goldin, I want to remind Jamaica tonight what he said about the NHT. Producer, there is a clip with him and Dion Jackson Miller. I want you to find that clip because I think it is very timely. Find that clip.
That in principle, you believe that NHT funds should be ring-fenced to be used for NHT contributors.
It should be ring-fenced to use for the objects and purposes of the legislation.
So let's just say the court ruling goes either way. Let's say there's a court ruling that says no, actually, the government can use it for whatever it wants. You have your belief in principle. Does that mean that as Prime Minister, you would then follow through on those principles?
Yes,
I'd amend the law if necessary and ensure, in fact, that the dipping into the piggy bank doesn't take up your
I'll tell you why.
That's a commitment?
It stands as a commitment. And I'll tell you why. There is a point of view that all public funds should be pooled, whether they are in trust or that, having the public sector funds fragmented in this way doesn't help the central government. But then there is also another view that there are some funds that belong to account holders, funds like pension, funds like the NHD, and those funds ought to be totally excluded because technically they are the private property of contributors.
Yeah.
That was Andrew Holness in opposition, like you in opposition now. So we know you're not going to change on the country like how Andrew Holness has changed on us.
Okay. So let me tell you what happened. So when the JLP came to power in March 2016, after the pre-election, not long thereafter, having said all that, and what they had said in Parliament saying that what we were doing was wrong and so on, they proceeded to amend the NHT Act again. The 4 years had come to an end and extend that. And they've actually extended it for 8 more years since the original 4 years. So the 11.4 billion, instead of just being taken over 4 years, which would have been, 45 billion, what thereabouts, it has been taken for 12 years now.
Wow.
Now that period expires, I believe, in March 2026. This is the last fiscal year ahead of us, where the law allows it to be taken.
Yes.
And our view is it should not be extended any further because it was never intended that should be a permanent arrangement. Jamaica didn't rely on those funds prior to the very difficult situation the country was in 2013. And we need to wean ourselves off of using the funds resources to fund the national budget. And we believe that is more than possible. And it could have been done already, but they chose not to do it.
So I'm going to ask you again, Mark Jefferson Goldin. Should you take the realm of Prime Minister and you go into the scoffers and you see that there's nothing in there? Because already we are seeing signs that the cookie jar is empty. How then are you going to proceed to stop using the NHT 11 billion to finance this pretty fancy budget that we have being presented by you?
The budget that is currently being approved for the coming fiscal year, which begins on April 1, that budget contemplates another 11.4 billion being taken from the NHT. That's the budget that the government is presenting. All right. As I've said, my recollection is that this is the last year that the act which they passed allows it to be taken. Okay. Going forward, we will not be relying on those resources. For example, every year as the economy expands, albeit slowly, the tax base of the country, the resources, the revenue of the country expands as well. So, for example, in the coming fiscal year, they are projecting, I think it's over 50 billion more in tax revenue than we collected this year. That's now ending. So it's really a question of why then, if your tax revenue is increasing year on year, and
why you're still taking from out the 11 billion?
They talk about no new taxes, but the tax revenues grow because the tax system has improved under our watch. A lot of things were done to make the tax system more efficient at collection and so on. And that has borne tremendous fruit.
Yes.
So Jamaica has seen its revenues grow significantly over the last 8 years. Yet they have continued to take this 1.4 billion every year.
So that's 11.4 billion.
Where they've actually exceeded their revenue target by close to $100 billion. Yeah, but there's still no, to my mind,
that 11 billion could go
affecting NHT's operations. The NHT
yes.
no longer
continue people to listen to the next Prime Minister of Jamaica, Margk Jefferson Goldin.
Band of income earners, 30,000 and below. But borrowers above that have to go to the private institutions and pay those fees and those mortgage insurance requirements.
Yes.
And the NHT has to pay an interest rate subsidy to the private lenders. Because the private lenders are not going to lend at the NHT's rates.
Yes.
But the NHT wants the borrowers to get their rates. So they have to pay a subsidy, which is a big expense for the NHT.
So as Prime Minister, Mr. Goldin, you're basically saying that 11 billion is going back into the NHT to do what it is primarily caused and trusted to do.
Correct. It will be left there. We will not be taking it out.
So that means...
And in fact, what we have said is we plan to recapitalize the NHT by providing it with lands that the government to replace some of those resources that were taken out over the time, that it can then use to develop affordable housing. And we will, in the pricing of affordable housing, not include the land cost or the value of the land to the purchaser of those units. So they will get that value without having to pay for it. Given that they have been contributors to the fund, but these resources were taken out of the fund. So this is an idea that we have as to how to reduce house prices at the affordable housing level that we're trying to bring to the people.
Reduce house prices at the affordable level. But one thing that really sparked me yesterday is when you said you're developing a fund that can assist young professionals like myself, teachers, nurses, soldiers, doctors, everyone out there, so that they can go to the NHT to get, what you call it, Mr. Goldin, can you tell us that idea? Because I've never heard any leader come with this idea.
Yes. Well, we have a plan in relation to housing, which I think is transformational and very, very necessary.
Yeah.
Because what we have found is that there is a tremendous challenge to young people to find a deposit out of their own resources to buy a house. So what we have said is, look, the NHT can, out of its own resources, this is not going to cost the government any money. The NHT can, out of its own resources, provide a fund, and we've said initially we'd start that fund with $1 million, $1 billion, which would allow purchasers who are up to 35 years old, who have been contributors to the fund for at least 2 years, they would be eligible to take advantage of the Young Owners Deposit Fund, we call it.
What you call it? Young Owners Deposit Fund.
Yes. And they could get a grant of up to $500,000 to help them with their deposit. And then they could finance the rest with a mortgage. Now, this is just in particular for where they're using the NHT to buy into other schemes. Because on NHT schemes, my understanding is that they don't need that deposit at all. The NHT is the developer. But for other developers, like the other big housing developers that there are out there, if they're using NHT funding for that, they still have to find a deposit. And this Young Owners Deposit Scheme fund will help them to finance that deposit through a grant. And so we think that there's a very...
So wait. So a PNP administration as you as Prime Minister, a grant, according to a Prime Minister in Barbados, a grant is free money. So you're saying that you plan to help the young professionals in this country, not just owning a house, but giving them the first grant to depositing to get in their house.
Yes, because the deposit typically, I believe, is in the range of 10% of the price of the house. It may vary, but that's been the traditional deposit amount in Jamaica. And we want to say 500,000 will be provided for the young contributors who are buying their first home typically, and they're struggling.
Share live, my YouTuber, share live.
Achieve it.
And your argument is if we stop taking the 11 billion out of the NHT annually, the NHT will have enough resources to support these initiatives.
Yes, that's right. And that is what the NHT was established to do. The NHT was established under the governance of when Michael Manley was Prime Minister in the 70s. He established the National Housing Trust as a vehicle to enable workers of the country to contribute to the fund to get housing. So when you deplete
my YouTubers, just text.
Over such a long period,
let us know what you think about that budget speech by Margk Goldin yesterday. So sharing the comment section. What do you think about the budget speech? Tell me the point that grab you when you listen to the budget speech.
And build their castle, So we want to really try and tackle that through a variety of ideas that I put on the table yesterday.
I really appreciate this discussion. I'm asking Jamaica to like up this live because we have a good amount of time with Mr. Goldin. But let us continue tonight, Mr. Goldin. The teachers of this country bawling out. We are in a serious crisis when it comes down to education. I heard you championed yesterday with Julian and Damian Crawford echoing not just 1 degree per household, but feeding the nation's children. And you said, I listened keenly when you said you want to expand the program, not limiting it to 1 meal, but also potentially carrying on a breakfast program. So you're potentially looking at 2 meals per day for each child in schools.
You see, the background to this, Andre, is that we have a high level of absenteeism in the school system. Children not attending school 5 days a week. And financial reasons are often the cause of this. The cost of the lunch money and the cost of bus fare and so on. So we want, and that compromises, that affects negatively the performance of the students and how much they learn and how well they do in school. So we want to take away the hungry belly aspect of schooling that exists, unfortunately exists for many children in Jamaica now. And so we think this is a very critical thing to do. And it's done on the path already to an extent. We want to extend it though, because as the UN study has shown, Jamaicans, 55% of Jamaicans are facing moderate to severe food insecurity, meaning they're not getting the diet that they need to be healthy. So we want our children to at least come to school and get a nutritious meal. That will also help our farmers because that will enable them to have that as a market for their produce as well.
You mean the farmers who balling out?
That's right. And then, we would, because we have to operate within the fiscal space that's available, and we're very committed to ensuring that Jamaica continues to do what we started and the JLP government has continued, which is to ensure that
he had a glitch. He'll be back. This interview is going well.
Yes, my people, we are
has a glitch. I hope
now listening to Margk Goldin and Andre Stevens' program. I think they have been a very good discussion. I ask that you text in the group, in the comment section, and tell me what you think about Margk Goldin presentation yesterday during his budget presentation.
Did we have a break on transmission, Andre?
Yes, we did. Mr. Goldin is back. Producer, can you put him back in?
Yes. Thank you.
Yes, Mr.
Goldin. So I think it's very important that we ensure that our students get at least one good meal a day at school. And when, as the economy grows and fiscal situation improves,
yes,
we will be able to expand it to the breakfast program. Yeah. And that is our plan.
Your teachers, Mr. Goldin.
Yes.
Talk to your teachers tonight, because many of them are saying, Andre, things are really bad. And if they get the solution to leave, they're going to leave. As Prime Minister, you need the teachers to stay so as to keep the economy and the learning space going.
Yeah.
What is your plan to retain the teachers and professionals in this country?
Andre, you've hit the nail on the head. We do have a problem with retaining our teachers. We train teachers, and then many of them are not satisfied, they're not comfortable, and they decide if another opportunity is provided where they can go elsewhere, many of them take that decision. And we want to try and encourage them to stay, because national development requires a strong educational system. So our children are well educated and can, progress into the world of work with the necessary background of education and training to be productive and to earn good money working good jobs. So we want to encourage our teachers to stay. What we plan to do is a variety of things that we have come up with. So we have, for example, we intend to give teachers who have a student loan on their, that they've borrowed to go through their teacher training.
Yes.
We will provide a system of reduction of the balance of their loan over time if they stay in the system. And similarly, we have a plan that the motor vehicle concession.
Motor vehicle concession.
So, to enable them to buy a vehicle without incurring the duty. We would allow that concession to increase over time as well. So the longer they stay in the system, the more valuable that concession would become for them.
So if they stay 10 years, then get a big partner draw with the concession.
Yes, exactly. And then, so we want to encourage them to stay in the system.
So if I'm in the system for about 20 years under year, what's probably I'm getting a free car when I go to the car mart?
Well, we'll see. Those details need to be worked out. But the principle of the thing is that every year that you stay in the system, you're building your value in the concessions, and you're reducing your liability in the debt. So it encourages you to stay and teach our children.
So you talk about the concession.
Yeah.
You talk about reducing the student loan, but and also the 500,000 deposits. Are three things that already you're talking about for them.
And there used to be a special NHP arrangement where public servants got a lower interest rate than everybody else. That's acknowledging the fact that they are giving service to the public, and sometimes they weren't earning what people earn in the private sector and so on. We want to reintroduce that benefit. So
that was taken away from the teachers and the public servants. Through NHP. Yes,
it was taken away.
Wow.
Under this government. Yeah. And so we plan to restore that and give them an interest rate reduction so that they can at least save a little from that as well.
Yes, people, we are listening to Margk Goldin.
And to reduce losses and tablets for teachers and students. We don't.
Good night, Sheldon. Bless up.
Age where
we are listening to Margk Goldin and Andre Stevens' program.
Access to those devices that the state should be increasing. That the state should be increasing as to learn them. So we plan to remove the taxes from those devices for them. And we also plan to talk to the internet providers and see if we can negotiate with them a package deal, which we would underwrite as government so that teachers could have free internet access.
Wait. So you want to talk to Digicel and Flow and any other service provider out there.
Right.
So yourself and Philip Paul will be negotiating, and Damian Crawford will be negotiating so that the teachers basically get free internet each month.
Yes, because we see it as a tool of their trade. Their lessons are delivered using the internet sometimes. And so we think that is a valuable benefit for the education system and for the teachers. So we plan to do that. That is something which we are discussing, and we'll see, up to what extent we're able to deliver on it. But we know that because you're talking about a large number of teachers, this is something which, it may cost us something to do it, but we think it is worthwhile, and we're going to try and get that done as well. So what I'm really saying is we're thinking about ways in which we can encourage our teachers to stay in the system here. And, I know that many of them feel that coming out of the wage restructuring that went on in recent years, the classroom teachers in particular didn't get a good deal, and many of them feel dissatisfied about that.
So
I don't want to be...
I'm glad you talk about, and you don't want the teachers to drive a pro box, am I correct? I'm sure you don't want them to drive a pro box, Mr. Goldin.
Yes, well, the point really is, you see, Andre, we want them to be comfortable, and we're trying to think of creative ways that we can make their lives more comfortable. And as the economy improves, and we will try and do other things as well. But for the time being, these are the things.
So these are your teacher retention plans?
Yes, that's right.
I want to ask you a question. You mentioned just now about the negotiation that happened for the public sector that saw your parliamentary colleagues getting that lump sum and the teachers and others getting 20%. When you become Prime Minister, should you become Prime Minister of Jamaica, are you planning of reviewing the salary structure for the public service?
Well, it is something which I think, always has to be looked at. At the time that the whole issue of what parliamentarians and ministers should be paid, and when that big controversy arose, I've said that it really should be a situation where an independent body makes a recommendation in relation to that, rather than the people who are making the laws or governing the country deciding how much they should be paid, because clearly they have a conflict of interest in deciding that issue. Nevertheless, the government proceeded in the way that they did. And, I have myself made a commitment that I would stick to the 20%. It didn't lie in my power to say, don't pay me, because they send the money to my bank account. But I have been using 80% of my increase to do what I regard as good works, and that is something which I've continued, and I'm still doing it.
And you're saying for public records, if I go and find out the details, which will show you that the 80% from then till now, you have been consistent in doing good deeds with it?
Yes, I have. And in terms of what we plan to do on the overall compensation front, we see the issue of the middle tier of the classroom teachers and some of the other public sector workers who really got that 20% at a time when it was quite a high inflation environment. We recognize that their situation needs to be addressed. I don't want to make any promises on that tonight, because you're talking about very big numbers there when you start to adjust those things. And I know that there's now a new round of negotiations that is just beginning. So I want to see how that plays out. But we are mindful of the pain that they feel and the frustration that they're under, and we want to do what we can to make life better for them. And that's why we've been talking about these other things, especially in relation to the public servants with the interest rate benefit that we want to restore, and various other things that I announced yesterday.
But in talking about your presentation, you spent some time on the issue of corruption.
Yeah.
You said corruption is a scourge to the society.
Yes.
How will Margk Goldin, Prime Minister of Jamaica, deal with an issue of a Minister of Government found doing hanky-panky?
Well, I believe that it's very important to restore trust and confidence in the elected leaders of the country and those who govern. And I was involved. I was the architect of the Integrity Commission, because when I became Minister of Justice, it didn't exist, and there was a fragmented system where there was one entity that dealt with parliamentarians, another entity that dealt with public servants, then there was a contractor general as a third entity. They couldn't share information in between them, or they couldn't receive information from other agencies of government that have information that they ought to be able to receive. So I decided, look, we did a study. I appointed a committee of advisors. They looked at various systems across the world, made some recommendations as to what they thought the best practices were. And we got cabinet approval for a new integrity commission, which was a single body. It has prosecutorial powers. It has powers to share information and to receive information from other agencies that need to be in that position in the tax system, in the law enforcement system, and so on. And I brought that legislation to Parliament. We took it to a joint select committee to review it. It was thoroughly reviewed. The election was held. The government changed. And this government, they passed it into law. But all that work was already done. But of course, what has happened is, in doing their work, the Integrity Commission has exposed some things which the government's very uncomfortable about.
Exposing the illicit aid? Exposing the illicit aid?
Yes, the illicit aid, who we still don't know who they are other than one.
Other than one that searched far and wide?
Yes, the Prime Minister himself. His report came to Parliament in this, I think it was August or September last year.
The man with the 28 bank accounts.
So in answer to your question.
The man with the 28 bank accounts, Mr. Goldin.
28. The 28 bank accounts.
I want to ask you one question. Is how many you have?
I have 2 bank accounts, which I operate, a US account and a Jamaican account. And I have another account which is really almost dormant, which I'd opened 30 years ago. I haven't closed it, but I don't really use it much.
So basically 3 bank accounts you have?
Yes. And my children, my children have accounts as well.
But your children have nothing to do with your financial.
No, their thing is different. And my wife as well. She has an account.
And I assure you, not to be inquisitive, but assure that your wife and your account, right?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, we share an account.
Oh, some others can't really say that, no, Mr. Goldin. But we're not going down there.
We are asking for other people to do their thing. So, but you asked the question, how would we deal with hanky-panky?
Yes.
Well, first of all, the Integrity Commission developed a leadership code of conduct, which set out 7 principles of good governance that they wanted the political leaders of the country to sign on to. And I was the first person to sign that code.
Awesome.
And all of our parliamentarians have signed it. And even some of our spokespersons who are not in Parliament
have signed the code.
Signed it as well.
And then you have a Prime Minister who hasn't signed the code of conduct. His minister hasn't signed the code of conduct.
None of his ministers have signed it.
And also the senators have not signed the code of conduct.
That's correct.
Unacceptable.
That's correct. It is unacceptable. And, my team understand how important this issue is. And they understand that there will not be a tolerant approach to violations of that code or violations of ethical standards in government. As I said yesterday, the ethical base of the country is vital for national development. That we see a lot of issues in the society with the decline in moral behavior and good standards of conduct. And we know that there are many Jamaicans out there who feel that is a real problem, including me. And we want to kind of focus on that and work with the churches and work with other groups that see this as important and try and bring around a change in how people view these issues of how them should conduct themselves, how we deal with each other with respect, etc. Now in government, it means that the resources of the state, taxpayers' money, is for the benefit of the people. It's for the benefit of the taxpayers and others who are citizens of this country. And so anyone who is going to doing anything irregular to get some kind of financial benefit under the table for themselves or their cronies and so on, I will expect that to be properly investigated fairly. It's not, everybody's entitled to due process, but the law must run its course, and the chips must lie where they fall.
On that issue, you introduced an impeachment bill in the parliament, didn't you?
I did, Andre.
What has happened to the impeachment bill from 2021?
All right. So the history of it is that Bruce Goldin, he introduced an impeachment bill when he was prime minister. Shortly before he got into his problems, and he ceased to be prime minister, and that bill was never passed, and it fell out of the parliament.
Yes.
When this thing happened with the MP out over in Westmoreland and the whole issue and the video and the beating
in
a car park, it was such an offense to the conscience of the nation to see
a member of parliament
denied. I said, look, we have to revive this impeachment bill. And I looked at it, and I'm a lawyer by profession. I've done a lot of development of legislation when I was Minister of Justice. So I did some adjustments to take care of things like that.
Yes.
And I tabled the bill. I brought what's called a private member's bill, not a government bill. Me as an MP, opposition MP, has tabled it 3 years ago, I think. And I wanted it to be sent to a joint select committee. So you could come there, and if you want to talk to Parliament on your views as to what it should say or shouldn't say, or anyone else, you can come and do so. And we can get the legislation, improved, and then it goes to and it's passed into law. They have not allowed it to move forward. They have not taken. And in fact,
you think that they're not allowed to move forward because who leading the nation probably you'd use that to impeach it?
And you see, the Constitutional Reform Committee that they set up.
Thank you to touch on that point.
It was the impeachment legislation that Bruce Goldin wasn't doing something of his own, It was something that out of the constitutional reform discussions and report of the 1990s, which had crystallized into some agreed positions. Impeachment was one of those. So, however, the Constitutional Reform Committee that has been formed in the last couple of years.
Yes, they haven't taken on the issue of impeachment.
No, they have rejected it. They have rejected it. So the Constitutional Reform bill that they tabled in December doesn't have anything in it dealing with impeachment.
That is why you are saying that you're concerned about the way in which constitutional reform is being done in this country.
That's one of the reasons.
Along with the CCJ. But we can't take on the CCJ. You're going to come potentially for other programs so we can discuss the issue of the Constitution.
Issues, yes. Sure, we can do that another time, Andre.
So you're talking about impeachment, but I see you're calling for a commission of inquiry.
Oh, yes. This SSL saga.
Yes, that is a hot matter in this country, Mr. Goldin.
Yeah.
The SSL.
We, and I must tell you, it was under the People's National Party that developed the regulatory system in its modern form.
Yes.
With the Financial Services Commission dealing with investments and securities in the, insurance and pensions, and the Bank of Jamaica regulating banks and deposit-taking institutions. And we have really done well as a nation in avoiding problems in the financial sector, coming out of the era of the 90s when we had that problem then. SSL has gone under, not because of any problems in the system, but internal problems to do with fraud within that institution. And their problems were known to the regulator for some time. And the regulator had commenced action to try and ensure that they turned it around and sorted out the problem. And then at some point under this government, that ended.
2017.
The thing really drifted until the, proverbial thing hit the fan. And, it turned out that our sprint legend, Usain Bolt,
along with 200 other investors,
200 persons or whatever the number is, have been fleeced, and they can't get their money, And I think it's tragic because it's such a high-profile situation, and people not only in Jamaica but our Jamaicans overseas, and no doubt other persons who are looking on are thinking, well, how can that happen in a country where you have a regulator and this is a licensed institution? And who's being held accountable for it? Right now, I believe it's only one person, who's a relatively low-level employee who's before the court for it. So
when you're Prime Minister, how soon are you proposing to launch a commission of inquiry into SSL?
I don't see any reason for any delay. The Minister of Justice under our watch will be tasked with preparing the necessary documents to set up the commission of inquiry right away. That will be a priority business.
So you're saying in the first 6 months, Margk Goldin-led administration will launch a commission of inquiry. What about the Kroll report? Would you make the Kroll report public?
I think the Kroll report and the Ken Tomlinson report, he was a temporary manager, and he must have delivered a report to his temporary manager.
Yes.
Those documents should be made public. If there are things in there that are so sensitive that they could compromise legal matters that are underway, those can be redacted. But things that don't meet that standard should be disclosed, and reports should be disclosed.
So you stand by the word that if there are aspects of it that needs to be, but you stand that you plan to make that report public?
Yes,
and you plan that who must be prosecuted will be prosecuted and locked down?
Correct.
Oh.
Correct. Yes, that is important, because how can you have confidence if these things happen and nobody is held accountable? It's not right, and I think that it's a blot on our reputation as an investment destination, and we need to ensure that we correct that. I'm not talking about witch hunts. I'm somebody who believes in fairness, believes in due process, believes in proportional, punishment fitting the crime and that sort of thing. But I don't believe in impunity, and I don't believe in a lack of accountability. Especially in issues like this, which have become a national and international scandal. Besmirching the image and reputation of our country.
And on that point of you have started a lawsuit for Portmore becoming a parish. The former head of the ECJ, Professor Errol Miller, says that if Portmore is constituted a parish, we are going down a very slippery slope of constitutional crisis. The issue of Portmore, Mr. Goldin, gerrymandering is of great concern.
Yes.
You said yesterday that even the utterances of a former senior minister who spoke about the reason for the cross-bordering of Portmore is cause that it needs to be corrected. What is the leader of the opposition saying tonight on the issue of Portmore?
Portmore was essentially built by the People's National Party government over the years. We had the Portmore scheme under my command and in PJ. Previously in the 70s, a number of communities were developed and so on. And it is a very large community. And they wanted some autonomy in how they govern themselves. And this is 20 years ago I'm talking about. And a process of engagement and consultation was followed. And they wanted, for example, to have a mayor that they can elect themselves directly. Each resident who is entitled to vote should be able to vote for their own mayor. They wanted to ensure that their civic organizations could be represented on the committees of their council. We passed legislation then to make that happen. And as you know, George Lee was the first mayor, and there have been a series of mayors since. There's been a JLP mayor, there have been PNP mayors, and the current mayor was from the People's National Party. They are not happy with the situation politically. And the minister that you mentioned, said it publicly on a platform that when they go through this exercise of creating a parish out of Portmore, they're going to cut off certain areas which they feel tend to lean towards the People's National Party and get certain benefits as a result of that. And we're saying that is not a basis upon which you can set boundaries, especially electoral boundaries. We have an electoral commission. Both parties are represented on that commission. There are independent commissioners who are reputable people, fine Jamaicans, who are there to ensure that the electoral system is sound and that free and fair elections are guaranteed. Since the very violent election of 1980, we have seen where the political violence has largely disappeared in Jamaica. And it is because the system has been improved and people feel that there are free and fair elections in the country. Now, to use the law and the majority in Parliament to pass an act saying you're creating a parish out of Portmore, but what we're really doing is setting the boundaries of that parish so that you cut through existing constituencies, which will necessitate a realignment because the Constitution does not allow a constituency to lie in two different parishes. So it's going to mean there has to be a realignment around your new parish boundary, which you have fixed to get a political advantage, as you see it. And we say that is a corrupt use of power. We say that is very improper and dangerous for Jamaica's democracy. And we filed a constitutional motion on Monday to seek the court's relief from this, including the striking down of that legislation. And we intend to pursue that litigation.
So that means that even if you have to go to the Privy Council, you plan to?
If necessary, because it's still our final court. So, if we need to take it there, we'll take it there.
But on the matter of the ECJ and Portmore, aren't you concerned that the Electoral Commission of Jamaica needs to come out of the office of the Prime Minister?
Well, put it this way, it has to be in some ministry because when their matters come to Parliament, it's brought through a minister.
Okay.
But what I'm very uncomfortable with, though, is the political ombudsman.
Thank you.
Having been essentially eliminated, and the contrivance, this gimmick of making the electoral commissioners collectively as one body, the political ombudsman. It's not right. We voted against it when they brought that legislation to Parliament a year or so ago. And we went through the local government elections with that system in place. And effectively, there was no political ombudsman to deal with the issues that came.
And there are many issues already coming up in this campaign.
There are. I mean, we're seeing situations where people's billboards are being defaced and that kind of thing. Those are the kind of things that the political ombudsman needs to jump on to quickly, bring the parties together, and ensure that it doesn't lead to other things that we do undesirable consequences. It's important, we're going to be going into a very general election, heated. And we have no mechanism in place right now to address those kind of complaints, and it's not good for the country. And I called on the Prime Minister to ensure that we restore the political ombudsman to an independent office who can be the person to adjudicate those kind of disputes and recommend to the general secretaries of the two parties how to address them so that they can be resolved.
How recent have you called on him to address the issue of the office of the political ombudsman?
I did it yesterday in my speech. And I've been saying it previously, but I said it in Parliament yesterday in the budget debate.
Wow. So you believe that he'll respond to the cry of reinstating a political ombudsman for this election?
I don't know. They have not indicated that they see it as a necessity. They're the ones who created this problem. They're the ones who, through their majority, passed legislation to essentially eliminate the political ombudsman, because by making the ECJ commissioners the political ombudsman, it really means we don't have a political ombudsman. Remember, the way the ECJ works is through consensus. So they're dealing with sensitive issues around boundaries and electoral matters. And the way that they resolve it is that they thrash it out. And if the two parties don't agree, then the independent commissioners deal with it. And then whatever the final decision is, there's a convention, a practice, where the parties accept it and live with it, even if it's not exactly what they wanted. And that's how we've been able to move forward. Our model is regarded around the world as an exquisite model, as a very successful model in how to deal with these matters. The political ombudsman deals with contentious issues where he said this, you said that, you know, things have gone wrong, and you need to, you know, step into that situation and resolve it. Make a decision as to who you think was wrong, get them to apologize, get them to make address, and so on. It is not the role of the ECJ commissioners to get into that kind of affray.
Yes. But Mr. Goldin, on that point, the ECJ put out a statement over the weekend that there are fake IDs that are in circulation.
Yes.
How do you plan to deal with this issue of fake voter IDs circulating?
Well, we need to ensure that our indoor agents and the people who are in the polling stations and outside, you know, are properly trained and are alert to this issue. And we've been in dialogue with the Electoral Office of Jamaica as well to ensure that IDs are thoroughly checked against the records. And so that if there are fake IDs that are presented where a picture doesn't correspond, you know, to what is on record, or you know, that person can be identified and appropriately dealt with. So, you know, we're very uncomfortable with it. You know, that is not something where anybody should feel comfortable with. But, you know, we're just trying to be extra vigilant so that it doesn't become a problem.
When last has there been a Vale Royal talk with Margk Goldin and Andrew Holness?
Boy, donkeys years ago, as my granny would say. I don't know. The last time was a good while back, over a year, I think, you know. And, you know, there are some issues which we need to discuss and try and resolve, you know, including issues to do with constitutional reform, for example. You know, and I don't think that we can achieve much in the area of constitutional reform if both parties are not on board. And they know we're not on board with what they're doing. So they should really try and engage with us in a respectful manner, and let us discuss it and see if we can find common ground. I spoke to that yesterday in my speech, but you know, that's for another occasion.
Another occasion.
Yeah.
I want to go back a little bit more in your presentation. Yesterday, you thoroughly carried the discussion about the reform of healthcare.
Yes.
As we speak, many of our hospitals don't have a CT scan machine, and CT scans and MRI are outsourced. You said that under PNP administration, there will be at least one CT scan and MRI in each parish as a start. You also spoke about primary care versus what is happening now about you knowing your numbers.
Yeah.
Operating theaters, the cries of many Jamaicans is that they go into the hospitals, no ventilators, they have to be on the corridors, all of that, each week, each day. What does a reform of healthcare under Margk Goldin administration look like?
Well, you know, we want to shift away from these mega projects, which, you know, involve mounting billions of dollars, like the Cornwall Regional Hospital.
Tell us about that.
A $2 billion project, and it's now at over $21 billion 7 years later, and it's still not functioning properly. You know,
hope you guys enjoying the discussion.
Almost $30 billion.
So we really want to enhance the delivery of healthcare in the clinics and hospitals. You know, patients go to the hospital to be diagnosed as to what's wrong and to be treated, and then to return home. And
time come, people, you know? Time come.
And we have a problem right now because we're not doing screening at the level that we need to do. And I read some appalling statistics, which I want to repeat, since I have your audience and you here.
Yes, sir.
You know, in Jamaica, 70% of colon cancers, I said bowel cancer, are now are diagnosed at advanced stages. You know, when it's you're in real problems. Not early on where it can be dealt with much more effectively. 70%, 90% of breast cancer are detected by a lump over a
person
year.
out there, please subscribe to my YouTube
started.
channel. Please subscribe to the YouTube
Prostate
channel if
cancer
you're
is
listening.
normally diagnosed after it has spread beyond the prostate.
Wow.
50% of diabetic patients, 40% of hypertensive patients have sugar and pressure. They have no idea that they have the disease. 50% of people with diabetes don't know they have diabetes. And 40% of people with pressure don't know they have pressure.
Mighty God, Margk.
Yeah.
It is really bad.
It is bad. And we need to put a proper screening process in place because a lot of these things can be dealt with, with very successful outcomes.
Yes.
If you act it early and you deal with it early. So we plan to launch national screening programs to identify these diseases that are the top killers of our people and treat them early and more effectively. Prevention and early treatment are easier, cheaper, and more effective than late cures. That's one aspect of us, of what we plan to do. We also see the need to ensure that operating theaters are properly maintained.
You mean the operating theaters that Christoph done don't have working?
That's right, KPH.
5 operating theaters not working.
Cornwall Regional, no surgery. St. Anne's Bay, Another Bay, National Chest Hospital, all of these
Spanish
have
Town.
functional operating theaters. It is a terrible situation. And there's been really such poor attention to maintaining equipment, basic equipment, air conditioning units. Right now there's a mold problem at KPH.
My God.
Which is as a result of AC units not working as they should. So, the emphasis needs to be on ensuring that the things that are necessary for basic healthcare that is needed by our people to be delivered in a dignified way, in a way which is accessible to them, that is not being done. And the standard of care in the public health system has suffered, and you see that there have been problems with industrial unrest, with all levels, even the consultants at the highest level of the system have have taken their own form of action. The situation is in crisis. We have an excellent spokesperson who has been in the public health system for many years. He's a consultant surgeon in his own right.
So also you have the confidence in a Dr. Alfred Dawes rather than a PR doctor to do this work that is necessary.
Yeah, I have confidence in
But I realize, Margk Goldin,
worked in the system and knows medicine.
I realize that the key portfolios for growth in this country, you find the professionals to get the work done because you align a Dawes to healthcare, you align an educator to education.
Yeah.
You go to entrepreneurship and innovation. You took up a young Andre Horton and you aligned him there.
And he's an entrepreneur too.
And he's equally an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So is this the kind of visionary leadership that we should get in terms of aligning the professionals to the ministries to get the work done, to make things go in the right direction?
Yes, that's right. And in the justice area, we have a very experienced and senior attorney, Donna Scott Motley, highly respected in that area as well. I believe we need to put the best talent, the talent that has the most experience and knowledge of their area in the right positions to get the best results. And that's my job, really, is to try and achieve that as a person who makes those decisions.
But I want to ask you, there have been some utterance from the Prime Minister and his surrogates that they will not surrender Jamaica to the PNP. How do you plan to deal with that?
I spoke about it yesterday in my speech. I said that is a very damning statement. That is not a statement I've heard any leader of a country say before. JLP don't own Jamaica. The PNP don't own Jamaica. The people of Jamaica own Jamaica.
Yes.
And they have a right to choose the government that they want every 4 to 5 years. That's why we have a constitution. You can't be telling the people of Jamaica that the opposition can't win an election.
Fixing business, Margk Goldin.
It is a very anti-democratic and dictatorial tone. And this is from somebody who made his senators sign pre-signed undated letters of resignation so that he could ensure that if they didn't vote the way he wanted on certain issues, he could get rid of them. And that was struck down by the court.
Yes.
This is the same prime minister who appointed the chief justice of the country and put him on probation.
Hey!
So he could say, test whether or not he was comfortable with him. When we have
so this is bordering on the lines of dictatorship, Margk Goldin.
Well, I'm saying there's a tendency that we're seeing, and those utterances were consistent with that tendency. So I had to drape him up about it yesterday.
Drape him up!
Because he has to understand that when he does these things, there are people who will speak out against it. The Jamaican people have a right to choose the government they want and to get rid of the government they don't want. And no prime minister should tell them anything else.
Rude. Disrespectful. So you say you have to drape him up and deal with him business. Margk Goldin, I know that, but I just want to spend a little bit more time because...
I know, because we're kind of gone over already.
I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Some of them over there saying that they need to see your passport to see whether or not you're fully Jamaican now, or according to them, they want to know if you did rescind your British visa. What is your response to like a Daryl Vaz tonight?
Daryl Vaz was a dual citizen in breach of the Constitution. Because he was not a Commonwealth dual citizen. He was a dual citizen outside of the Commonwealth, which is not permitted by our Constitution. The matter was taken to court, and the court ruled that that was improper, and that was when he decided to give up his U.S. citizenship. My father was from the United Kingdom, and as a youth coming up, I was entitled to British citizenship by descent. I'm born in Jamaica. I was born in University Hospital. I lived my life in Jamaica. I never worked anywhere else in Jamaica. I did some studying in the UK, and that was it. So I had the British passport. It wasn't an issue because our Constitution allows it.
Yes.
However, when it became an issue last year, and there was a big kerfuffle about it, I said, let me check out how the people of Jamaica feel about it.
Yes.
And we did our own poll. We didn't publish. We do polls all the time to assess what's going on and how people feel about things. And when I saw that there was a good enough chunk of Jamaicans who didn't think that their leader should have a dual nationality, I said, here what? I don't want my status to be an issue. I don't want my status to, for example, in any seat where we have a candidate that's a close seat, for it to be used as a thing that might make their chances not as strong as we want.
Yes.
So I said I would renounce it, and I have renounced it. And I paid £400 and something to renounce it. And the renunciation came through in August last year. In fact, I can show it. If you have 2 minutes, I can get
the document. Go feed, Margk G. Go feed. Prove it to the Margk G, Jamaica. Bangarang Margk G, say prove it tonight, Jamaica. He himself will show them tonight, Jamaica. Ball out, producer the program nice. Ball out.
We need help, Jesus. Jamaica need help. Shift the parliament. Shift the election. Shift everything. Remove them all there. Take all the cockroach. Take all the thief. Take all the criminal them. Take all the thieves them. Take out the murderer them. Take out the gang leader them. Out of parliament. Take them out. From Portland. Take them out. I hear Portland. We are going to Portland. Why am I travel to Portland? Take out somebody. Man or woman.
Yeah, man.
Yes, man.
Yes, Andre. So, as I said, in August it came through. So, here is the cover letter. How am I going to make you see it now? It's difficult, eh? I don't know if you can read it. That's addressed to me.
Yes.
Yeah? And the date.
Home office, seat there.
Home office, yeah. And the date, you can see the date?
Yeah, the UK. Bring it up a little bit more, Mr. Goldin. See there the reference and all of those something.
Yeah.
Oh.
The date is right. The date is right here where my finger is. You can see it.
August 5th. Also, it was the day before independence.
There you go. All right? And it's captioned the renunciation of British citizenship. You see it?
See there, backside. See there. Only didn't want the proofs in Margk did give there.
So that's the cover letter. Yeah, that's cover letter signed by this person, whoever that officer of the
Leslie Davis.
Leslie Davis, UK Visas and Immigration Department 73. All right. Yeah.
So you know.
And this is a certificate. No.
Yes. The UK. See there. Declaration of renunciation. See there, Jamaica. Why would the man be telling a lie?
Yeah. And it's signed over here on the back. The same thing. So this is it. And it has a seal and everything.
Mr. Goldin, you need not to say anything more to them.
Yeah. That's it.
But
I'm glad I got the chance to, to be honest, let me tell you, it's my personal life.
yes.
You know, I've said it, I told the media from when it happened, it was carried in the Guinea and so on. I thought people would accept what I said. I'm accustomed to telling the truth.
Yes.
But Carol has continued to make an issue.
And that one in Olaba.
Yeah, and there you go. So, there you have it.
So you silenced the argument and done the argument now.
Done the argument. Argument done.
Argument done.
So right now I need a visa.
Hey!
From over to the UK.
But when you become Prime Minister, in a few more months, I'm sure your team will see to it that all of those visas right across the hemisphere and the world is dealt with so that you can go and renew the international.
I don't think it will be a problem. You know, as a leader of the opposition, I have a diplomatic passport and so on. So, you know, it's not an issue. I just haven't had the need to go and go through the process. Because I haven't.
You know, I would want to ask Matthew Samuda if he could equally do the same tonight.
Yeah,
I would want Minister Matthew Samuda to equally show the renunciation of his British passport or his British citizenship. Because if Margk Goldin has done it, I'm equally sure that everyone else who has rescinded should be able to prove it. Who agree, Jamaica? That Matthew Samuda should be able to show to the country and to the public that he has rescinded his British visa. And we're not talking about the next 2 weeks. We're talking about tomorrow morning. He has exclusive right to some media houses that Mr. Goldin wouldn't have exclusive to. So I'm sure that Minister Samuda should be able to do that. Mr. Goldin.
Thank you very much, Andre. Andre,
I know, but the final, because there's a final thing.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Are you concerned about the police killings?
Good night, good night.
That have started at the beginning of this year?
Well, put it this way. The numbers are significantly up, you know, and, you know, I fully support the law enforcement and our brave police officers who put themselves in danger to keep us safe. But, you know, we have a history, and history has necessitated the establishment of institutions, independent institutions, so that where somebody steps over a certain line, you know, the citizen has some recourse and there's some accountability for that. And that is very important. And the Indicom was set up by the Jamaica Labour Party. It came under their watch, and I give them credit for that. So, you know, when you see the numbers going up in a fairly drastic way or fairly significant way, put it that way, you know, it gives some cause for concern.
Some would argue that it is state terrorism.
I don't want to make...
You don't want to bring it in.
I don't want to judge the matter, but, you know, the body cameras, for example,
yes,
which is a device that is used internationally, you know, so that when law enforcement go on special operations and there might be a situation of confrontation, they can show that they've acted in accordance with the law.
Good night.
Use force if necessary, but only if necessary, and so on. They have that protection so that if there's an accusation made against them, they have it on video recorded that they did what they had to do and they didn't do anything that they shouldn't do. But we're not seeing any real move to put that in place.
So you and Peter Bunting will be instituting full body cameras as a part of your crime plan?
We will work with the police and ensure that that is adopted as a normal practice, so that we have that kind of thing to protect the police and protect the citizens. I think it's important so that the people as a whole, especially in communities where these types of operations happen more often, that the citizens have confidence in the police. Because it's when you have confidence in the police that the police get information. And it's the information that enables the police to take necessary action to keep us safe. So there's a symbiotic relationship. There's a benefit to both sides to having a good relationship between the citizen and the police. The police understand that. And then, so I want to encourage things that would make that stronger, so have a better and safer Jamaica.
But there was one thing that the PNP administration did. You invested significantly in intervention programs, such as Unite for Change.
Correct.
All of those initiatives have basically gone to naught.
Yes.
I'm sure that you plan to reinvent all of those social initiatives through
We do.
To get the kind of citizenship policing that is necessary. But that is for another time.
All right.
But the final issue, Mr. Goldin, no, this is the final one, and I'm sure it is everybody wondering tonight, is the bread and butter issue. Thousands of Jamaicans are wondering, how do they get a better economy with a Margk Goldin-led administration? If you're to talk to the teachers and nurses, the youth on the corner tonight, those who are in the bar, the hairdressers, because a lot of them listening, a lot of bartenders listening tonight, thousands of people are listening, those who are in the diaspora listening, and we're hoping that you'll be able to come back first to strengthen this discussion.
Yeah.
How do you plan to champion change for a better Jamaica, a better economy in this country?
Now, that's a big question you've asked. And, tonight won't be the night for us to have that complete discussion, as you have said. But what I would start with is saying this. We believe in the importance of proper management of the fiscal affairs. We are the ones who took the debt after the JLP crashed the IMF program under Bruce Golding and then Andrew Holness. When we came to power at the beginning of 2012, we had a problem and we addressed it. And by the time we left office in just 4 years, the debt had come down from 147% of GDP, according to the official measures, down to 115 through the reforms that were brought and the proper fiscal management that was done. And the JLP have taken it from there and it has gone down further to now 69%. And that's a great national achievement, which has created an opportunity for Jamaica to really move forward. But Jamaica is not moving forward. We're stagnant growth. And in fact, last year we had negative growth. The economy actually got smaller in 2024 than it was the year before.
Yes.
And we have to be focused on productivity. So I want to start by saying we have costed our proposals and we are satisfied that we can realign. There's $360 billion of discretionary expenditure in the budget. Those are decisions that the government...
Good night, Cheryl. Good night.
...as to how to allocate resources. $360 billion. That's separate from salaries, separate from interest payments, right? We have costed our proposals and we are satisfied that we can readjust those programs, and some things that they are doing we may not be as keen on. We may scale them down or eliminate them altogether, and we will introduce the programs that we think will benefit the Jamaican people. The feeding, etc. The first child in
university
degree, etc.
Good night, everyone. Yes, so that was the interview with Margk Goldin and Andre Stevens. Powerful interview. I say Margk Goldin go for his certificate to prove to the world that he's no longer a dual citizen. I think that's a big lick for the JLP, because that's one of the things that they were planning and campaigning on. And the Margk Goldin receipt show that the certificate shows that on the 5th of August last year. So from that time when he said he get rid of the dual citizen, show that he was telling the truth. So that's a big lick for the JLP. I think this period of budget debate is just a bad time for the JLP. I can't tell you. Some pollsters were showing that after the Christmas break, like the PNP, they take the foot off of the gas. And they say the PNP lose a little ground. But I can tell you, March belongs to the People's National Party. And I'm not seeing the Prime Minister helping the JLP in any way. Come Thursday, the Prime Minister will be speaking. And I wonder what he will be coming with. Because all the batsmen that go out there, you have to say all of them get ducks. And it's for him to come now and save the match as a captain. I don't know how he's going to deal with that. Yes, but it was a very good discussion. Very well done, Andre. Well done. So tonight, as I close off, I'll stay for another 15 minutes just to discuss a little of what's happening in southern Trelawney. And Cheryl know when I was running as an independent, I know some of the things that I used to do. I think Roxanne also know that. Some of the things that I was doing before I became a counselor. One of the things that I did was a water project down by wire fence. That's in Cheryl Slowly's area. So pass Cheryl Slowly and go down by White Man Gate, Cheryl. Before I was a counselor, Steve Warren was a counselor at the time. I went to White Man father and asked him permission because they used to have a spring behind his house. So the guys would come by the roadside here and wash the car, or people would have to go up behind the house, walk through his yard and go get the water. What I did at the time was at that time I know that a gravity feed, I set up a gravity feed water supply over there with his permission. At the time, White Man was not in Jamaica. So he can't tell you how things went. But with the help of the community members from Wire Fence, we set up a water project down by Wire Fence there. And that was before I was counselor. Steve Warren was counselor at the time. I clearly remember when Steve Warren said we set up that program, he run up the road and start to fix up back a water project below Cheryl's house. Because Cheryl them always have a water supply below their house where the Cheryl mother would go and get her water. But they didn't allow it to run down. So when we set up that one down by wire fence now, Steve Warren as a councillor now start to fix up back the one up by below Cheryl's house. So I was very surprised yesterday. I went on my live on my TikTok, showing persons that the project down by wire fence, I'm the person that started that project. Only to hear one of Mr. Smith, I would say his right-hand man, saying that no, it wasn't Paul Portmore who started the project, it was Wayne Smith who started the project. Remember, right through my 4 years as councillor, we watched that project down there. It was always there, right through from 2012. I was councillor from 2012 to 2016. And that was part of my, as a councillor, that's one of the things I used to boast on. When I got to parish council, I used to boast on that project. So if you hear Vaughn saying that it's not my project, and Wayne Simmet allow him to say that. When Wayne Simmet, when we were setting up that project, I almost sure that Wayne Simmet, he was one of the businessmen in the community. I know that I cannot remember him clearly, but I think he also make a contribution when we were buying pipes and so. Because we asked community members to even help us to purchase a few pipes. And I'm almost sure that he was one of the persons. Because he would come right at that pipe, right at that water and wash his car, his truck. So then I come and wash his truck there from time to time. So I was very surprised to hear he allowed Vaughn to be on TikTok saying that it's not a Paul Portmore project. Paul Portmore did not start the project. Yes, it's true that Wayne Simmet, after when I left, so between 2016 and now, he would have do some work on it. Yes, so he might be change out some of the pipes, fix up, black up a little place, set up a nice little tank. But that don't mean that it wasn't started by Paul Portmore. So if somebody come and say, no, Paul Portmore is lying because he's saying Paul Portmore said him start the project. When him remember, he's saying that he remember when Wayne Simmet come and buy black and set it up. Yes, Wayne Simmet as councillor in 2016 do some improvement on it. And that's very good. Because that's what one of the things that we want to see is that when somebody does something, if that person lose or move on, the person that come after must always continue with the project. But that don't mean that it's not a Paul Portmore project. When I become member of parliament in another few months, I will be doing some work over by Lower Primary and Junior High because that's my past school. I will be going over there to maybe to help them with some projects. But that don't mean that because I help with those projects, I maybe buy some paint and paint up the school and brighten up the color. That means it's no longer a Brascoli project. It still remains that a Brascoli did fight to get the school over there. You can't take with that. So there are certain things that certain people do. That's why I always encourage politicians, do something, man. Do something, man, because what you do can't rub out, you know. There's certain things we can't rub out. Anytime you go in a community and put up infrastructure, you can't rub out no matter what persons want to come. Because maybe that's their intention was to try and rub out and undo what Paul Portmore did. But Paul Portmore started the water project. So there's nothing where you can do for rub it out. He was mentioning about that I do the water project up by around by Thompson Town. Yes, that's true. But Thompson Town water project came even after I did the one in Lower. So the wire fence one was the first one, and then I do the one up by Lower, and then we do the one over in Thompson Town. That one over Thompson Town came because the labor rights want something to compete with me with the wire fence program. So it was Raza. He went to Miss Dalrymple and asked Miss Dalrymple and tell Miss Dalrymple about the project, water project up by Buntum Hill, where can carry the water down to Thompson Town. And Miss Dalrymple never paid him no mind. So he came back to me and tell me about the project that he mentioned to Miss Dalrymple. And so when me hear that, you know, say me love water. So we in 2 days, or maybe by the other day, we go and buy the pipe and we carry the water from upper Buntum Hill, come straight over into Thompson Town. Yeah, man. So all those 3 projects, all those projects was done by Paul Portmore, started by Paul Portmore. The one down by Lower, from I left from 2016 until now, we have been asked in the Member of Parliament to improve on the project. Come and improve on it. We have a big project like that in Lower Square. Get through rural water and set up the project. But because it will be remembered as no matter how much money you want to spend, you still can't go about Paul Portmore off it. People still are going to remember say Paul Portmore started. So because of that, she decides that she not contribute to the project, none at all. Luckily, Paul Portmore decides, all right, I'm going back into politics. So in another few months, I'm saying to the people in Lorva and everybody who use that water supply, Paul Portmore will be setting up a big water program down in Lorva. We will be partnering with rural water. As member of parliament, we're going to reach out to rural water and we're going to set up a big project down there where trucks can come out within a 5 minutes, 10 minutes, any truck supposed to can full. The truck, we are going to set up that pipe where the truck just drive under, reverse under, we just full within 5-10 minutes. Yeah, man. So it's just for everybody just to understand. Whenever you go here, Paul Portmore have done so much in South Lani. Even though I was just a councillor, I did so much in the Limas division. So from time to time, you go hear me mention all of them. I'll be mentioning Paul Portmore and I'll be mentioning the things that the MP should have done, and I'll be showing you some of the poor representation that we get from the present member of parliament. And I'll be comparing them with the things that Paul Portmore did as a councillor, as an independent councillor. So if an independent councillor can do it, why an MP can't do it? Why an MP can't do it? I see a holy police, so holy police, bad bull, let out of them pen, trying to take and want to in a discussion with me. I don't want to in any discussion with him. I'm not running against Vaughan or anybody. I'm running against Mama D. I have a right to talk about what she have done and to show the people them that I will be a better member of parliament than Mama D. That is the only intention that I have. We don't go our yard. We don't talk about our family. We don't business about our husband, our children. I'm taking it straight on the play field, right in the political ring. That's where we're taking it. Who she married to don't have nothing to do with me. Which part she sleep don't have nothing to do with me. How much care she want to have don't have nothing to do with me. I'm telling you, it's a political battle right now. So we don't have to talk about our family. We don't have to talk about this. We don't have to talk about that. What she want to have don't have nothing to do with it. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So I'm the action man, Roxanne. Action. We just do things. Anything when it comes to, remember, so we don't reach out a Penny. They are mad already. I'm going to reach out a Penny Road. That road beside Wayne Smith house. Me no reach just yet. I go video it. And Karen go show and say after that piece of road we fix it in 2012. And no patrol not on it now. People throw mall on the roadside and cars the truck them for drive in the curve and channel and pop off a piece of the curve and channel. But the road stand up solid same way. Solid piece of road out of pen. Done by Paul Portmore 2012. You talk about 13 years ago we do that. And they have road we do 3 years ago. And it mash up already. Because we spend time out and do it properly. And we oversee it. I remember when we were doing that road, the people them walk out. And I said, Mr. Portmore, 80 years. Man, 80-year-old man, I walk behind me and I said, Mr. Portmore, 80 years, me I wait for somebody come fix the road. So we're going to always assure we're going to reach over Harvey Town yet. Go take pictures. So all of you laborites, get used to it. Everything we Portmore do, we are take picture of it. I'm the picture man. So you know get used to it. If your stomach easy if you're sick, you don't need to get some salt and get something for bad stomach. Because we'll be putting out everything. Every week you're going to see a piece. I'm going to show you, what Paul Portmore do, or some of the poor condition and poor representation where we get from a member of parliament. Yeah, man. All right. Hold on, all right, we could get through that. All right. No, on it, me not even get through that, but me not even know why should I even keep you on it? All right, I could get through that on it. On it is either you come to learn on it or you don't come to learn, so you stay one side. Stay one side on it. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. I rebuke you on it. Yeah, man, but we just mention it and like say we are going to follow up. Because some of them, what we notice they want we share, then we mention things we share, because they are looking popularity. And we have one of the larger platform, so they might try to get some they might look helpful, carry for their message across. This is about the PNP versus the GLP. This is a political battle seat. It's Paul Portmore versus Marissa Davenport. Your candidate is there for 19 years. Paul Portmore is just coming fresh, but he was a councillor for 4 years and have been a businessman in the community from around 1996. And we have a lot of things to show. We're going to show you, if you look on the little bush shed when they put up, they're rusty now, but then serve them time and they are still there. Nobody not touch them because they don't want to say, boy, they don't want to do nothing with Portmore though. Mr. Simit was brave enough to touch the water run by a wire fence. He was part of the persons who would encourage me, because the entire community wire fence did encourage me to set up the water there. And I believe that because of that water that me win so much vote from down in a wire fence. And that's one of the era where Mr. Warren lost big. So all of the labor right then for Mr. Simit come right up, voted for Portmore that time. And it was because of the same water where Van say no me do. Is the water that give me that election. Is the water, Van. That water gave me the election. Push me so big in wire fence that I will buy, I think, 100 and add to my around 20 add. 100 and add to 20 add in a wire fence. And it was because of the water. All of those things I want me to do before me did win. And the water me use win the election, Van. If it wasn't for the water, maybe we wouldn't lose at the time. Because we never have nothing for sure. The water, there was a simple projects. Simple projects, a project that water, by the time I check the man, me stop, I think, powder them talk to me about it. And say me must go talk to the man, and then me never know white man father. Me just walk up and powder show me the man and we go talk to him. And within a day, by the next day, by 12 o'clock we have water at the roadside. And the rest is history. And it was at that time now that when Powder see me do that down a wire fence, a Powder called me and said, me know which want better water there. And I just saw him now tell me about the one up at Lurva. And me and the people in front of Lurva and over Bow, we go up and say, we sort all that. So I don't know how everybody want to turn waterman all of a sudden. I pack more of the original waterman. Every water will happen in a Lima's division and me do it. You talk about water up by Lima's reservoir and me get that clean up. Me clean it up and set up it back with water run at the pipe for years. And it was straight until me left. Straight until me left. It wasn't so too bad in a Steve Warren time, because I remember somebody was even assigned to that water, the reservoir, if you take care of it and chlorinate it. So water was there in Steve Warren time. But I think we did just clean it up and make it thing look more proper. But this councillor, no business with nothing about water. So it's just not fair for him just to sit back and allow Van to chat garbage. We know Van's style. Van just believes the boy as long as he just must defend Mama D any way necessary. But Van don't realize that Mama D don't want an ex-chemist. You know? Van is looking chemist position and him not realize that Mama D don't need another chemist. So for that a position him a look, Mama D done with that. Another chemist will not be allowed to rise in South Chilani. So if that is the position he's looking, he's late. He's almost 12 or so years late. There will never be another chemist on Mama D team. There will never be another chemist. So that's why you see she have Mr. Warp as her right hand. So there's certain space that some of you now will get to go in. So it's a new thing I go on, Van. Get used to it. The days of chemists them over. So if for that type position you look, there's none for you. Go and find something else though. Go and find something else, man. And I warn you already, mind you put the people in a problem because you continue to talk things that you don't know. And you will talk things and make them audit Mr. Smith. They will audit him. So be careful of what you say. Because half of the things where you say Mr. Smith don't have control over those things. Mr. Smith is not allowed to do certain things. Not because he's a councillor, there are certain things that the councillor money is supposed to do. So you can't talk, saying you collect money for Mr. Smith. You go a farm, go collect money for fix ball gum. Because Mr. Smith is not, the parish council is not supposed to do that. I'm going to tell you, so just be careful of where you talk and mind you put him in a problem. I don't want nothing to happen to him. He's one of the, I'm here today because of him. He's one of the person who voted for me. So I don't want not even head for him. So just mind you put the man in a problem. Anybody who did vote for me already, make me there so now because I, show me say boy it can be done. So I just say go. Because some just have me go always a show, Remember say me no go down a green town go show the people me water supply down there yet, when Mama did inherit because when Mama did take over, people, we have running water in a wait a bit, Litchfield and those places. We did have water. So what you going to do? Tell me, say, no, we never had no water. And I Mr. Mark these it mash up. Because if something mash up, we have a year duty to get it fixed. We mentioned about the play field down by Clarkstone, down by Ulster Spring. He's mentioning that me must remember say I'm go a 1 year now. Miss Mama D never there for 1 year. So what about the money that was coming in South Chilani for South Chilani? I must go and complain to Harris Chang about that. He was the person who in charge of the funding for South Chilani. So go and complain to him about that. Ask him what happened to the money that's the place never take care of. There's no patrol we fix during that time. So we under a new PNP government, what we are going to do? We look like we have to go call for your audit to find out what did happen. How would that a year money they go? Because I don't think as something where they would spend over in a St. James. Harris Chang must have spent he was the person that was put in charge. If he say he could have wicked, so that's the money, he get the money, but because Mama D know about he just make it stay there and just benefit the people, none at all. So people, the Margk Goldin interview. That's what we were focusing on tonight. But we just have to drop in a little piece about those labor rights, you know. We have to just drop in. So I want to tell you about, so on the 19th of April, we're going to have our Patriots invasion done by Albertown. Yours truly, Paul Portmore and Mario Mitchell will be two of the selectors. So come out, everybody, that evening and celebrate with us. We're going to have our little launch of the Patriots in Trelawney Patriots. So we invite Patriots from all across Jamaica to join us in Albertown on the 19th of April. Let's come celebrate with us. On the 23rd of May, Labor Day, will be going to Joe Hut and Freeman's Hall. So we want to reopen that road from Joe Hut and Freeman's Hall. Somebody is telling me that because we're saying we are going to Joe Hut and Freeman's Hall, they're saying that Mama D is telling her people that they must go to the play field down by Joe Hut. So that's where they will be on Labor Day, and they will be cooking and they will be demonstrating because they don't want the road to reopen. You ever see something as stupid as that? Everybody else, every other community, I hope to get us on highway, I hope to get road. The JLP persons now are saying to these people, the people at Joe Hut, say no make Portmore open the road. People are go drive through and rob, you know, and run and drive through the road and go in a 2025, you know. That is what they are saying to the people at Joe Hut, that they must make Portmore open the road. Because when people thief, when gunmen come and rob them, they are going to have easy road for drive through. They now look at the people, they are going to have easy road for carry their yam stick. Easy road for the goods truck drive through. Easy road for tourists drive through. That's we can promote tourism in our community. Easy road where people want to go and market, then can just run through the hills and go down. Easy road when road block through wire fence and in place we have an alternative road. With the condition of the roads over in a wire fence now, this Paul Portmore knows say we need to have an alternative road. Because things don't look so safe. If we get a decent shower right now, the amount of breakaway on the wire fence road between wire fence and Stettin, the amount of breakaway, not even by bit from outside to Stettin, the amount of breakaway we have, we can maroon at any time, any given day. So when you have stupid people, I go look on the people, they must say, don't make Portmore encourage enough to open back the road. Because gunman are going to drive through the road. Thief are going to drive through the road. No, we see the type of leadership we have for the past 19 years. No, we see the type of leadership. It is my intention to turn in place in a highway. Down between Joe Hut and Freeman's Hall. We have thousands of acres of land we need to farm up. Good yam land. But the farmers them don't have no access to it. And we are saying that Labor Day we are call out all of the people PNP, Labor Right, Independent, say come help make we open up the road. A road that the politicians refuse to open for 30 years. 30 years now the road block. And Paul Portmore and his team and all the citizens are say, we come together and reopen this road and start to develop all of them property between Joe Hut and Freeman's Hall. That means a Germantown, Ulster Spring, all of them road, they make we open them up back. And there are persons, politicians that tell them, say, don't support it. We are going to cook and pat up a play field come Labor Day. Then I saw Joe people are so you love pat. That's why we are here, say we are going to cook, we are going to set up the road. We are going to reopen the road as we can have join the two communities together, rebuild the community from Joe Hut straight down to Freeman's Hall, go down to Germantown, straight into Ulster Spring. And so we have to go develop back South Trelawney. We cannot develop South Trelawney if we don't have road. Road are going to change everything. We are going to change agriculture. We are encourage youth them for farm. Which part of the land there? We have to create new lands. The only way you can create the land, them have to open, push road through them. There are some roads where we lucky if we have them, they cut already, so we don't have to hold it for hard work. You can imagine if we go start that piece of road from scratch, from Joe Hut to Freeman's Hall, you believe that not easy? So when we have persons that go look at the people and say, don't support Portmore opening up back the road. These people are a bunch of fools. You have persons from Joe Hut who have land down there. We even believe what they must say. And I agree with them in the name of politics. In the name of politics, they agree with them. Say a foolish is Portmore, do Portmore one man for come thief in the ground. When we are saying if the road open, if a man keep a dance up in a Joe Hut, persons who not leave fall down at Ulster Spring and just drive through and come up there. Persons there in ground down there so they can just drive, come up a Joe Hut, come buy goods. A man live over in a Freeman's Hall and he farm there over in a Joe Hut, he have to drive around the long road. But somebody can look by you and tell us, boy, don't support you. We're going to cook up a play field. We're going to cook up a play field. The minute you hear say Portmore going to do a project, remember say over the years, in place that for the past 19 years, the JLP don't do no Labour Day project. They don't believe in Labour Day project in South Trelawney. But because you know here say Portmore a plan a Labour Day project for Joe Hut to Freeman's Hall, all of a sudden you know go cook a pot up a play field and weed play field. A little play field where you pay a man, give a man one work and 2 day work and he go weed up it. You believe say boy and then you're not telling us say a demonstrate and I go demonstrate. Why wouldn't you want a road go through your community? There's another road that Michael Manley start from Joe Hut I go over in a St. Anna. And for Michael Manley, there's still not even one a backhoe no drive up there and try to do nothing more. Seeing like how Michael Manley left it in the 70s. And they say there. And then you sit down and say, how comes Trelawney not develop? It's people like who follow stupid politicians. So I cannot blame these politicians. Are the people like we're going to cook pot. Not going to know Labour Day. When I'm the person who will look behind and say Labour Day set up for every citizen of Jamaica must come out and do something in your community. It's not all about what Jamaica can do for you, but what can you do for Jamaica? You have one day. So we select this 8 hours and say contribute something to your country for 8 hours. And make politicians are calling and say, don't go. We're going to cook pot up a play field. Just because them here, me are telling us, say, come, we're through the churches. Through all of the we are sending letters to the churches. Don't Joe Hut. New Testament, Joe Hut, New Testament. 7-day church, Church of God, Pentecostal church. Send out your members, come take part in this hungry so we can develop the communities. We are talking about another community near from Greentown to Pike. We need to try and get in, if we're going to develop agriculture in a South Trelawney, South Trelawney at the Yam parish, South Trelawney at the Yam capital. We need to join back right through Moko, Greentown to Pike. We need to get that road there open up. That's the farmers we farm over in Manchester can just cut through Greentown and come up. But because the politicians them don't want to fix the road, What they will go to the people in Greentown and tell them, don't make, when Greentown people ask them about the road, they say, no, me can't open the back and me no want no thief come over Greentown. So a thief no drive on the main road from Christiana to Montego Bay on a daily basis. If you have a security problem, let's talk to the police about it. And make see if we can fix the security problem. But don't tell people, don't try to encourage people and say, man, I got to. So we are going to live within this. So this is what our great grandchildren are going to born, can see. And we have justice of the peace down there, and none and you know hear the people them. I say that and I support them the argument there. And you don't look on the people them and say, a step up time now at 2025 is about smart thinking. We need our farmers right now if you think smart. Must not be led by politicians, because these politicians narrow-minded. Just narrow-minded politicians we have in our South Trelawney. Narrow-minded. When you look at who they have as a liaison officer, you know, so they mind narrow. They mind the people, they mind narrow. In the 70s, one man get murdered in a Freeman's Hall. A man get murdered in a Freeman's Hall in the 70s. Up in the 80s when, in the 80s, you know, no man no dead, no political violence no go on in the 80s in a Freeman's Hall, no, between Freeman's Hall and Joe Hut. Nothing like that never gone. And we up in the 90s and 2000, you know, the same politician them this come in and have a little youth them, I use them. I draw the back of them same way and I use them. And people start say, boy, Freeman's Hall bad. Joe Bottom bad. And instead of it deal with it as a security measure, them believe say, boy, blocking the road and make the road stay black is a security measure, you know? Because man, we drive through Freeman's Hall, can do things up a Joe Hut. And that's the mindset. That's why I'm telling the people. Paul Portmore believe in development. If you know once it's South Trelawney develop, maybe you are right, just like some of these labor rights. You might be right. Paul Portmore might not be the right MP for you. Most of who you hear grumble and say, boy, the only thing they might worry about is that 5,000 there where they used to get on that bag of lies there and that bag of Irish potato there. That's their concern. Paul Portmore more concerned about road, water, light, the hospital, how we are going to deal with the health system in South Trelawney, how we are going to deal with the road, how we are going to deal with it. We are open up. If we are going to input agriculture, going to be a big thing. With Paul Portmore for South Trelawney, agriculture is going to be a big thing. Even when we say ecotourism, you know, agriculture will play a big part in that thing. Agriculture will play a big part in ecotourism. I invite, when I think I'm going to sell to the tourists them. It's making anyone say, boy, you can come down and come visit the farm and walk in the farm, come roast yam in the farm, cook some yam. We are sell South Trelawney to them. We bring in the travel agents them first. Carry the travel agents, go drive them through Joe Hut, drive them through and show them the attractions that we have, like the yam field. Actually, you don't know what we have. You know see yam field, you don't see it as bush. You want to see how some of my people, when somebody tell me up at the funeral home, and people come at the funeral home and say, what's that over there? And we say, that's yam. The people shock and frighten me, mean people might be just live down in a Mandeville. our own Jamaican. We have things here we can attract people. And those people are we if we wake up, man, and take this in our own hand. And don't make politicians blindfold we. Take off in a blinders. Take off in a blinders. The blinders called politics. Shift you off and dash you off in your face. I keep you down. That's why you can't see. That's why you still a compare Paul Portmore and Marissa Darimple. That is. And then somebody would answer, Van would answer, but she bright. Of course she bright. I want only MP will come here so far with a degree. But show me how better she is from Brascoli. Show me what she do. Different. She bright, yes. What she do? Better than the Doreen Shindo. Mark these have things for sure. Stretch have something for sure. What she have for sure? Not at all. Paul Portmore was just a councillor, have something for sure. A serious time, man. Paul Portmore will not be everybody bread and butter, man. Me not go suit everybody. Everybody will not be, not go see my vision. Because somebody not look somebody else when if you don't get it, or when you don't get a plate of food, if somebody have a hole in a toe, lip and open it and put the food in it. And that's why you no problem. Yeah, man. So the woman promising us, boy, watch out, we're going to roast one cow over the play field come Labor Day. So in the plan for every time we move, you feel nothing is to say, boy, because what happened now, the GLP can't pull out a crowd by themselves. You know? So they must look company. So like when Portmore say we are going to Joe Hut, they must come at Joe Hut. They must see themselves at come at Joe Hut. And they must try to do that. Because you can't draw people by themselves. You know, I tell them, say, come, we could follow up Portmore. Because you don't want to come full up the road now and look like, say, boy, you know. But we are serious about this. We are serious. We hear the JLP say, boy, they will not surrender to the People's National Party. But compulsory, you know, already dash away. As the minute you reach a stage where you have to call back for your Marissa Darimple, you just say, gone. And in a by-election, you see it. Only 4,000 persons come out, come vote. And I tell you, say she lose a lot of ground since the by-election, from the by-election till now, you lose a lot of ground because you don't come back and deal with the people. Not even if you come back and say thanks. Not even if you come back and say thanks. But we can't wait. We can't wait. So the time is now, people. So that's Labor Day. So we want everybody to come out. We are going to have a set of persons that start from Joe Hut. A brush, I go down. We are going to have a backhoe that start from Joe Hut, I go down. And we're going to have one that come from Freemanzala, come up. With man, so we want at least 50 men. We are going to need to come out, go and chop bush that day, they clear up the road. We want some. So we have a lot of bush, grass that go in the middle of the road. So we ask persons to walk with them who. We have some drains that want to clean out. So walk with your fork, walk with your shovel, walk with your spade. Yes. And then we are going to do some work down by the bridge. That's why they know saying they catch them afraid, they get nervous. Because Paul Portmore have some little style where they now can follow. Me people must say, boy, we don't make them know, they know we don't talk what we do. But there's no way we can invite people to come out if we don't tell them, say, if you come out. So that's why I have to tell the people, we have enough more ideas in the people. We can't tell them because they love copy. If we never talk about Labor Day, they would know say there's something called Labor Day. Because last year they never do nothing. Mr. Lasanica look something for video and can't find nothing for video. I just weird it over Simitila at the some work. I saw Paul Portmore flex. So every Labor Day we find something for do. Last year we organized with the team and with the over Simitil. This year we say we have got Joe Hut. And them decide so them have to come at Joe Hut. When the South Trelawney have 4 divisions. So if Portmore they are Joe Hut, why you feel say you must come at Joe Hut? Just because you look problem. And as me say, the only way the JLP can even try to win the election is by intimidation. And the only way you can intimidate the people is to follow them up. That's people are going to say, boy, me say labor right come down here, so me can't take a problem, me now, but I go down there. So that's what they try to do. So they spend a whole lot of time. They can't start a campaign because they are focused on what Portmore do. And I follow up back at Portmore. Everywhere they hear say where I go, then decide so they must stay there. Everywhere. Everywhere they hear say where I go. So for the past 2 months, I'm announcing we Labor Day project, what we are going to do Labor Day. All of a sudden, them want to come at Joe that idea. And Miss Bailey shouldn't talk to them about it. So people from Joe, they will listen to Miss Bailey and Walters. Please talk to them and tell them to behave themselves. So we have 2 justices of the peace down at Joe. Justice Bailey, please talk to them, tell them to behave themselves. Justice Ann, I think they will listen to you. My sister, they will listen to you. Justice Ann, talk to them, tell them to behave themselves. Bishop Casper Brian, please see if I can help we catch them up, please. Please, Justice Brian, my colleague, please see if I can catch them up. Justice Grant, the president for the Albert Town Zone, a Justice of the Peace, president of the Justice of the Peace Association in South Trelawney. Please, sir, if you can talk to those persons and ask them just to behave themselves. Remember, we don't have a political ombudsman anymore now, so we can't even complain about it. We can't complain about it, sir. So, Mr. Grant, please, if you can talk to Team JLP for us, sir. I know that they will listen to you. Costas Jenkins, please, Costas, see if you can get a hold of the labor rights in South Trelawney for us. The police alone cannot handle them. These people are uncontrollable. I make many reports to the police in South Trelawney. The police down by Warsaw in Ulster Spring, I think they're kind of scared. I don't know what they're scared of. You know? Yeah, man, I don't know what the police scared about. The police nervous. When I talk to them about, so many times I make some report about them people here, and I tell them, say, man, the police them nervous. Police them nervous, I tell you. But Mr. Jenkins, Mr. Grant, Miss Ann Walters and Casper Brian, my justices, Miss Bailey, you're the elder, you're the most senior justice in Joe Hut. Please, if you can talk to those persons for us, tell them that we don't want no problem, you know. Time come and they have to just get used to it. They have to just get used to it. Paul Portmore is just a different politician. I know that they have never seen anything like this before. They always just get a candidate, and the candidate maybe just did it, and nomination day candidate turn up and then do the little thing on election day, then just did it and people come out. It's a different thing. We are campaign. We hit the road. I mean, it's frightening for them. Yes, sir, Power. Okay. I'm going to ring you back 1 minute. Because I just lock up my life. I come. 2 minutes. Yeah, man. Yeah, man, but we are extremely excited and we're ready. We pump up. On the 4th of May, skip out the 4th of May, we'll be in Constant Spring Road. So Cheryl, try not miss that one there, Cheryl. 4th of May, we start at 3 o'clock. It's Comrade Link Up at 420 Lounge in Kingston on Constant Spring Road. So make sure all comrades, admission to go in is only $2,000. It's one of our fundraiser. So we ask all comrades just come up and share with us that day. It's a Sunday evening. Start at 3 and we go up to around 10, 11, 12, somewhere there. So does everybody just come out and support this initiative with one of our fundraiser. So please come out. It's Comrade Link Up, 4th of May, 420 Lounge on Constant Spring Road. Yeah, man. So we're going to have bus leaving from South Trelawney. So the bus fare is $3,000. If we bus full, it might be less. So we ask persons to start making arrangement for the bus. Bus can go hold around 30 persons. So we're looking at maybe we might need more than one bus. So please let us know if you want to come. Yes. Yes, sure. Yes. Yeah, man. If you want to come, just please let us know that we know how much vehicle we need to get that day. Persons over in Northeast Manchester, I think we want to have a bus leaving Northeast Manchester. Also, I know that fare might be a little less. Admission is only $2,000. On the 27th of April, Mr. Valentine Wint will be having their bingo party, their fundraiser in Christiana. And we ask persons to support Comrade Valentine Wint and his team. I think admission ticket price is only $1,000 for bingo tickets. I think you'll be able to play 10 games. 10 games for the night. And they have the main prize is $50,000. So one game for $50,000. They have television, washing machine, a whole lot of stuff. So make sure you come out. Come out. Yes, so that's it, my people. Remember, stay out of all confrontation with the JLP. They are getting nervous. Right now, in time they get nervous, they will do foolishness. So please stay out. No, I want to hear none of my people in no argument with no one. Don't go in any shop, go talk no politics. Leave the politics to the politicians. I know you want to help, but if a case where you are going to risk your life, please, for the past 30 odd years, they have never been on the back footing. So I think it was only last time was 1989 when they start to feel like a pressure. Only 1989 they felt a little pressure. Since that, the JLP was always in the lead when it comes to the poll. The JLP poll, is showing Paul Portmore, when they called Marissa Darren Phillip, JLP poll was showing that Paul Portmore was around 15 points ahead, bigger than the national poll. That was a JLP poll. And then called for Mama. I said, Mama, see what you can do. But because Paul Portmore now take off his foot off of the gas, that's what cause the problem. So it's hard to catch him up back. We have another 4 months to go. So comrades, I want you to come out and help me to keep the fire burning. We ask you just to support the Paul Portmore campaign by sowing a seed in the Paul Portmore campaign. We ask you to even $1,000. We ask every comrade to contribute 1,000 Jamaican dollars to the Paul Portmore campaign. 1,000 Jamaican dollars. But if you're so led, you can make your donation. Make your donation as long as you're a citizen in good standing. As long as you're a citizen is in good standing, please, we ask for your contribution. We ask for your contribution. So we are not allowed. I don't take money from like gang leaders or those things. Just to make that clear. So if you see yourself as a gang leader, you're a gunman and you will do this and do that, I'm not your candidate. Not the candidate for you to contribute. I'm a different politician, and I want to make it clear. I denounce certain type of behavior. And that's why when you hear me say, I'm calling on Marissa Darren to catch up our troops that is out there creating havoc and trying to intimidate persons. Tell them to stop it. Tell them, Mama D, tell them to stop it. Tell them to stop it, because you can't say, boy, yeah, Black Road Panway because we did Black Road. You know that we never Black no road on you. You carry your crowd of people with your vehicle come down where after the police tell you not to drive through the crowd up by Lurva because Portmore have a big crowd up there. You still say, boy, you're a bully, and you choose to drive your set of vehicles through the crowd. All of them people will follow you up from Senton and North Trelawney and the whole of them places. Pack up and jam the traffic. And because our vehicle were there already and our people were there, so when the two party, there's no way the two party can really pass comfortably in a Lurva Square. That's why the police did ask you not to come up there. So you can't say the people in the Black Road Pan you, because nobody wasn't never Black Road Pan you. If people in Black Road Pan you, the vehicle would not pass it, they did have pass slow. But you notice there was around 8 police officers there. But because you know what, can't believe say boy Portmore the take where even the media find them. Even the media, because set up for thing down at Albert Town. And not even the media not down there with everybody head up push for Portmore there. At our time, God say our time, man. God say a Portmore time. Time for give Portmore a chance. God say so. God saying tired that Darren now. A Portmore time, I know. Portmore time. It's Trelawney time. Trelawney time. So, Mama D, please control your people. The other day, your office, when we go down to Clarkstown, your office open from 6:30 in the morning. From 6:30 in the morning, people start go to your office. 6:30. Girl working there, 6:30 she come out. Because you think you're going to have a big crowd. You believe that people is the same thing about the JLP like it used to be. Yeah, man, 2 elections ago, if you tell them if you come out, everybody don't come out. And the place don't ramming and you don't overcrowd the people them where PNP are come with. So we don't look small. When you see you reach a stage where the PNP crowd bigger than the JLP in Albert Town, you know say time come. That never happened yet. When we drop in a Jackson Town, Mama D. I don't know if you're there, you must be watch one of the live. But Mama D, when we drop in a Jackson Town, the little people them in green shirt disappear. And we were planning to come and party with them because you send them go put up sound system in a Jackson Town Square. We were planning to come and join them in the square and dance to the music we are playing. We are going to do it. But by the time we come, the police run them off of the road. Rightly so. Rightly so. And that's why I congratulate the police officers of South Trelawney. I congratulate them. I think that set of police was the Clarkstown, between Stewarttown, Clarkstown. So what they do up at Albertown, they couldn't do it down at Jacksontown. Different set of police. Different set of police, man. Because the Ulster Spring police like getting afraid to lock up somebody. They don't know, say, even though Mama D is the member of parliament, you know, she can't get locked up. As long as she tell them, say, to come out and you can prove, say, that she tell them to come out, you know, a fair office. And as she tell them to come out. Get big bus from Hill 60. The big coaster and go come down with 1-7 somebody night. Yeah, talk about Hill 60. Mendistone, the bus we left Mendistone. It take up 3 of Mendistone and 2 alarmers. The JLP days in South Trelawney, days are numbered. If you see you go to Mendistone and you can't full a 7-seater at Mendistone, you have to left Mendistone and go alarmers, go pick up couple, and the bus still not say, 7-seater. So all you need is a driver plus 6 somebody and you can't fully. You know, say you're in trouble. So by the time we walk through the town of Albertown, by the time we leave now, they must just spot the little job back then, the little rump and go in the vehicle and drive off. So we don't know what they come out for. I even them I say they don't know what they come out for. Because when the people might call for up a hill and I tell me what I go on, they must say it look like a Liza then here, so they might get down there. Then here, so they might get Liza down there. Because the only way they can get 130 of them to come out, you have to tell them about all food or Liza. They say, yeah man, we are cook, man. We are cook. You know, go get Liza. Irish potato down there. So then deal with food people. Yeah, man, but me tell them, don't make no politician draw you out like that and make you look stupid. You're bigger than that. Me tell you, my people, we're bigger than that in a South Trelawney, man. We don't make no politician. So you see, like how you hear say, Portmore, I go to Joe Hut now. Why would you make a politician say, boy, here say, Portmore, I go to Joe Hut, you know, come now, you go cold up, you go cook some pot, you know, come. You know, see, I hear that politician is taking over. I hear that politician taking over. Because the play field long as state no one clean up. So if I say she just wants to clean up a play field, she can't do it. So if I just want to play field, I go clean up, I go weed up. You can't just go weed up it. Weed up it 2 days before. Weed up it 2 days before. But you just want to make mystery, or you just want to prove something to Portmore. But you have to remember, them days are done. So the labor right them down at Joe Hut, where she are encouraged to do that, should be ashamed of themselves. No man, Harris, me don't know which one, what, because remember, so we don't talk about certain things in life. If we get a professional, I don't know why they couldn't talk about at this time. There's not much, Sir Harris, that we couldn't talk about at this time. We talk about the road, so we're going to deal with the road. A reality, you know, when we talk, you know, Sir Harris, and a story we are make up, you know. We not just talking because one election has come and we want to sound good, you know. When we tell you, say we are going to fix the roads, that's something we are going to do. We know where the money come from, you know. There's a lot of work that Paul Portmore will be doing in South Trelawney. That way I know the government person are going to do it out of. A lot of work. And the same citizen and the leadership skill where me know some me have. That is the reason why one of the road where the government MP could not open for 30 years. On the 23rd of May, by 6 o'clock, Paul Portmore and his citizens at Joe Hutton and Freeman's Hall with other comrades from across Jamaica, I go make sure say open. So it's not a money thing. Sometimes you don't call a professional to come and talk about water. Remember, Harris, I believe that a lot of these persons will come to talk about something, not even know how we work. Because what they learn, the book and the reality are two different something. But they have on paper. Because a simple project like the one we do at Lurva, if you talk to professionals, they would tell me, say, we would have to hire a man for maybe $4 million to stand up down at the hill and look up the hill and tell me, say, the water can come down the hill, can gravity feed down the hill, just that. So he come in a necktie and he book and he write and say, oh, yes, if the water up the hill, it can come down the hill. And for him, for $4 million. Yeah, man, so most of the thing we know what at South Trelawney we born and grow and work every single day of our life. We don't left go nowhere. We don't leave go nowhere, so we know everything. We don't want no professional if you can tell you about the play field on a Clarkstown. We need to know, say, boy, we need to put some money in a SDC and make SDC get it sorted out. The professionals are there. Yeah, man. I just experience a reality we talk. Reality we talk about. We know which part all of the caves are. We know where the cave them then. So what we are going to do, we are going to farm the groups, Sir Harris. We are going to farm everybody we have a cave on their property. Or any form of attraction. We want to make sure so we identify around 10 different attractions. Then what we are going to do now is to farm in a group and get it registered and partner with TPD now to go sell these products, advertise it, meet with travel agents and make them help with it, bring people come to these attractions. Down to a simple thing like a yam farm, a yam field. We are going to have tourists come in and a farmer can walk with them and show them some little things. And then tip him, maybe by the time they done tip him, he make all one good $150 for the day. Just basic things. Ecotourism, we have decided we want a slice of the cake. We want a slice of the cake, but everything where we talk and we live, we see the labor, them grab it. Everything. Paul Portmore who come and say, watch out. And me come and say one breadwinner per household in a South Trelawney. So we get Damian Crawford to help me to put that together. Which part we are design a program, one breadwinner per household. So a household we have one breadwinner, we want to move that up to 2. So either we are going to help you, somebody in our family if you do a little farming, one next farming, or I'm going to turn on a higgler, or I'm going to get on a farmer yard, or something. But every yard, every home, we have one breadwinner per household. As long as we have to have 1 or 2. If a yard have 3 breadwinner, you know him all right with that program. But every house we go, if a 1 breadwinner, you need to move up that to 2. If a house we have 2 breadwinner, you need to move up that to 3. That is how we are going to do it. And we are going to create a lot of employment through agriculture. That is the reason why we are saying all of the roads, all of the farm roads, have to open up. That is why the Joe Hutton Road to Freeman's Hall Road is so important. So important. Yeah, man, but Harris, I must tell you, rather cannot come and talk to Paul Portmore. Rather have become like a political agent, if a person from RADA come and speak at one of my meetings, or even come on my live right now, he's fired or transferred. Something we know. My office is close by the RADA office in Lower River. And Dayton Campbell visited me one day. And I just walked Dayton Campbell down to the office to introduce him to the RADA officers and make them know that, yes, we're just passing through, we're taking a look at the office. And we were taking some pictures, because we are taking picture of his show, say, yes, we come at the RADA office. And the man, them, I would tell you that the man, them almost losing job. The RADA workers, them almost losing job. They must have called me and I said, Mr. Portmore, not sure that, not do this, not that. And there was nothing that I would just walk on, they never know say where I come, but because my office is near and Dayton Campbell come, we just say, so me just walk and introduce him. Come here, introduce him to some farmers and they were past the RADA office. And we said, this is the RADA office, Mr. Campbell. We say by evening, I pay a phone call. Yeah, man. That's a whole RADA stay in the thing. Yeah, man. So we have heart. Yeah, man. Heart to a lesser extent. The churches would always, but most of the time, a lot of the persons in our churches, even the Christians, most of the indoor agents and outdoor agents are Christian, and a lot of them. And I tell you, say, anytime them start behave good, behave like a Christian, they're going to have decent election. The lows, these nice where you hear, are the Christians them cuss upon election day. Making most nice and vulgar, left and left, make sure you left Bible a yard. You left Jesus a yard and come at politics. Look around here and you see. Look around and see if all the little bully, mostly the females, majority of them, they are Christians. All the way you see a galan bad. And both sides, it's not a JLP or PNP. And both sides, the people them left in Bible a yard, they left Jesus a yard. So this election, I go call upon my people in a South land. And say, man, make God come with you, man. Pray. Live in the yard and pray. No dash your Papa Jesus. And then after politics, you take him up back. We want to feel Christianity in our polling stations this time around. A lot of the presiding officers, them are Christian. The indoor are Christian. Them. Some of them are choir. Some of them are evangelists. But a pure foolishness gone. Vulgar, everybody vulgar, that idiot, everybody a cuss, everybody. You know? Yeah, man. All in the name of politics. When I war something, I see some people then block up the road and then go on with their antics. When you look, quite a few of them are Christians. Some of them are community leaders. Where we know they should know better. Yeah, man. No, man. Virgin Atkinson, I know me can't figure out what really happened that day. But we know, say, because we were there, when we went to the RADA office, you know, what we want to find out, it was, we want to visit a farm, the farmers who would, farm would be damaged. So that is one of the reasons why they go to the RADA office, because they would know, as the extension officers them know, they don't know the farmer who get the biggest damage. And one of the extension officer was saying, yes, me know one young man over there so lose around 1,000 hill I am. But in the end, now, and we said to him, say, can you, how would I find? And he said, yeah, man, I go to sky and a half, I go show him. And because the man has shown we which part of the farmer, because he want to meet the farmer too. Because any assistance so that I run, you want to make sure say his farmer gets something. Yeah, man, and before him leave, oh, he got man to call him and tell him, say, boy, I'm here, saying, follow Mr. Portmore and Dayton, go and show him farmer. But that's his work, and him supposed to show it. I'm supposed to show it. I'm the political representative. Me want to know a farmer that is in need. And his duty to show me. But the GLP believe that RADA officers are part of their team. So the only purpose that the RADA officers serve is to be the distribution agent for the GLP. That's why I can't wait for the PNP win for we show them say. None of that can go on in a South Chilani. You know, no business about no but Wales. Because I not go fast in a people's business. But that can't happen in a South Chilani. A farmer is a farmer, man. When we become member of parliament, no title and right pan you say you're PNP or JLP. A farmer is a farmer. And we'll be saying to the RADA officers, go out and look after the farmers. One purpose to serve. Go and take care of the farmers with technical advice. And then if there's a need, you must be in a position for you report it to your boss. And your boss, we can say, call the Prime Minister or talk to the Minister of Agriculture when they go a meeting and say there are some farmers suffering in the lower area or suffering over in Clarkstown area. It can't continue like this if we are going to move agriculture. Because agriculture me need to create some jobs through agriculture. And I try at least me going to need to create 500 new farmers. I talk about some young youth who just leave school. I see some university students leave going to for agriculture. That's how attractive agriculture must be. I don't know man I ride donkey anymore. Man I drive a nice 4-wheel drive vehicle go a gun. And you travel with your gun clothes and you change. You change and you go in your vehicle. Yeah, man. So we are going to start, you have to start putting time we're done with this, man, in a Chilani. You have to put some respect for with name, man. And Miss I am. Miss I am. You know, see we walk up in a Christian, I go a bank. Yeah, man, I Miss I am, man. Miss I am. Miss a farmer. Man, you see man I come from Cascade. Yeah, man, Miss a cabbage, Miss a carrot. Yeah, man, you're not going to start respect with. Because we are going to lead. We are lead Jamaica right now. Everybody else have to import and we are export. I see one time when Mr. Kelly was Minister of Agriculture, there was a year where we never import no Irish potato. I want to say to my new Minister of Agriculture, it's not going to happen in our first year, but by the second year, we need to give it a test run where we plant the amount of Irish potato that we need in Jamaica. Where we don't have to import no Irish. We don't have to import no Irish. We're not supposed to import Irish. We have a climate for Irish. What problem we have is a storage problem. A storage problem we have. So that's why we have to sell out it cheap. Because we don't want to spoil it, we want to make sure so we put in some storage. Put in storage. So it's a big thing. So people, agriculture will be the way forward for South Chilani. For the youth, them we talk about farmer card. Your member of parliament in waiting, Paul Portmore, know the vibes. One young man look for me and tell me today. I have to mention it. And a lot of people now go watch it live when they watch it back come down to so far. But you know that a young man tell me today, say, farmer card sell for up to 350,000. You'll never know that. So you know, I wonder why farmer card can't reach for pitney. The man tell me, say, you need at least 350,000 to buy a farmer card. Yeah, man. Because before that, I did hear say 250, and so me mention, he said, me hear say card itself around 250. He say, why you talk, say, Mr. P? If you're not 350, 400 right now, you can't get a farmer card. And that the man said to me. So you know, sit down there and chat foolishness and talk about politics. And different politicians, and I don't know how I go on. I know say, nothing for you, nothing brush off by, you know, as the poor voters, the poor people, them. You know, sit down there. Sit down there, chat foolishness, and hug up politician, and politician not even go to parliament. But he might collect money every month and collect them how much $1 million, how much $100,000. I know sit down like, you know, I eat that and when farmer card, they not make sure so they put in your hand. They end up with some little fools that we have here sell. End up in the hands of fools. So you know reach, you know. And most I don't know too. But because you know I hope say boy might be we line up one and people if you not talk, people will say you know informer. So nobody no want to be an informer. But for the next 10 years, you're 30 now and younger have around 5 years left to get a card. But because you don't have 400 or 300,000 to buy, you're not going to get it. So sit down there. No talk. Don't talk. Because when Portmore get, none not go sell. But it go be maybe on go 30 or 40. It go be on go 30 or 40. You know, the persons might feel say, boy, they must come to me and say, but Mr. Portmore, I need vote for you. I have money, I run out money. And you go have some loud mouth people who believe say, boy, then son, they get one last week. So they want again. Yeah, man, I bet say you don't have a vote, Dave. Dave don't have a vote now, but Dave knows say the JLP are going to win. But Andrew Holness don't know that. And the poll now show that, David. Dave, the poll is not showing that. The poll is not showing that JLP will win. So we don't know which part you do your maths or where you get your information from. But you sound like somebody that don't live in Jamaica where just imagine. You don't live in Jamaica, Dave. If you didn't live in Jamaica, you'd see that JLP is on the back foot right now. JLP is on the back foot. Time come for the JLP. Yeah, man. It's a new term. You have a vote and we'll be voting next election. Yeah, man. Please go out early and vote, David. And please don't take no money for your vote this time, yeah? Don't take no money for your vote. Go out and vote for what you think is right. If you feel that the JLP do good, if you're satisfied with what you see the JLP do, you're satisfied with the performance of your Prime Minister, and you believe that the playing field level, that you can watch them, you know. Yeah, man. Nothing wrong, David. Nothing wrong. Yeah, man, but him 7 vote alone won't able to can't save the JLP this time around. Yeah, man, if you're satisfied, vote for his satisfaction. Nothing wrong with that, Dave. That thing no wrong with that. But that no means say you have to tell me say me if you satisfied with what you're satisfied. You go vote. You go vote, man. When I think with me, you know, even while I beg people for vote for me, I know that everybody will not vote for Paul Portmore. Me have some very close cousins. Not many of them, but me have close cousins. Me want to say a lot. But me have a few close cousins we say, boy, them have to vote for them party. So that is one of the reasons why when a man look for me and say, Mr. Portmore, I'll be voting for you, I appreciate it so much. Me just respect him, me hug up him, tender. Yeah, man. Yeah, man, it's a seat by seat election, you know. Yeah, man, but if you understand election, you know, Dave, Crystal Lee's seat is a seat where Crystal will lose, are gonna lose that seat. You can't understand if you watch how the election, why you think she will do different? Why you think what she can do different where she never do in the last election? How the last election did go? If you count up the amount of votes we run, and the momentum I got the PNP way. The momentum going the PNP way. And you see that something where you can't do. When you see water come downhill, David, and something where you can turn up in front of it and try back up it. Save somebody can back up water come downhill, man. Water will push you away. Yeah, man. Water will push you away, David. And I say go. But I know like first time when, remember say last 2020 election, persons voted for Andrew Wallace. Andrew Wallace can't save nobody right now. Yeah, man. I don't know why Andrew Wallace can't save nobody. The last election, people never vote for Dalrymple, Dave. People never vote for Dalrymple, you know, people voted for Andrew Wallace. And that's why you see she not touch the road now. She hopes say people will still say, boy, right, I vote for Andrew. Boy, I want the third term where I vote for Andrew. She don't have nothing for sure. The problem is that she woke up in a one Paul Portmore who understand the politics and know the politics. I know say you have to go out there and know that it's a numbers game. So you did there say, yeah, I go win, and at the same time you don't start do a canvas yet. But you know say I go win. And that's so politics go. Them days of politics over in a day. Them days of politics over. Your candidate is not on the road campaigning or do our thing, but you know say she go win. It's election can call within the next 3 months. Dalrymple not touch the road yet. Paul Portmore on the road. But you know say Dalrymple go win, even though you're over in a center. You know something where Dalrymple don't know. Because if Andrew did know that, Andrew don't call the by-election early. Andrew only call the by-election in a South Carolina because he hears the PNP now contest. Dave, if you want to go history, South Carolina is really a PNP seat. Between 1972-76, before all of them time there, a PNP a winning seat. In 1980, Dave, the PNP lost the seat. The PNP never contested the election in 1983. By 1989, the PNP win back the seat. What really happened in South Carolina, since 1989, the PNP them not really come out and vote. Even in the 90s, when the PNP win, I never like them come out too hard. The PNP never really come out and win. Come out for winning seat. We have a lot of PNP in South Carolina. And we are trying to, they should be coming out this time around. There's nothing we can stop them from coming out now. Because them tired of Mamadi. All the labor right, them tired of Mamadi. So I'm expecting a lot of them to come out and support Paul Portmore. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So you don't understand. You're over there. So me can, if you want to bet on your seat, Dave, you can make we can make a bet. We bet. At 2020, you can't check 2020 election. 2020 wasn't really an election, Dave. Because if you look on the numbers, you see just the PNP them never come out and vote. The Labour them come out and vote and the PNP them never vote. Yeah, man. This is serious. A serious election, this man. Andrew can't save nobody in this election. Andrew in a position when he can lose his seat. You know? That's how this election I go stay. And Andrew is not in a safe seat. Oh my God. Dave, make some call and ask. The other day, Monday, we were going out on the road, Dave. I know that Mama D call up our people and say them if come disturb Portmore on the road. And then we lost them. And if we did, you can imagine if we did get the slightest hint, so them I go touch the road and me tell my people if they come out. We just did decide, say, boy, we are in a 21% vote for the JLP. Yeah. If we did just get a hint, so them will come out. And we joke my people in for Larimas and Albertown. We only want persons, just a few persons, who would normally just follow me, like from up in a Larimas era. But me tell them, say, me just want to deal with people and find out Albert between Albertown, Ulster Spring, Clarkstone. That's where me want the people to come from. So whenever I draw on people to come in. So if you just give me a hint, if they just give me a hint, so they might come out. So now that they decide, say, all right, they might come at Joe Hut. Them decide, say, they might come at Joe Hut. Labor Day when we go at Joe Hut. You are going to see what happens. Because I'm going to tell my people, them say, come, we are go out that idea. We are going to see if Darren can pack more people in a down way. Yeah, man. And we have to go, she have to go find $5,000 and give them plus food. We just have to tell people, say, come. We are going to Joe Hut and Freeman's are. And you're going to see the difference. We are going to use that as a test. Who can do it? Yeah, man. No, she shouldn't even be on the ballot. Dave should be embarrassed right now for even depend me live at about Mama D. You should be embarrassing, Dave. Somebody that was charged shouldn't be on the ballot, for true. Should not be on the ballot. Charge in Jamaica or 10 days, 900,000 or 10 days. Shouldn't be on it. Should not be on the ballot. So you should be ashamed. Yeah, man, but I'm a comrade, I'm a comrade, Dave. I'm a comrade, man. Just as I'm a Jamaican first, and then I'm a comrade. Yeah, man, we grew past that team a long time ago, my brother. We grew past that team a long time ago. But everybody, a lot of the persons know, say, boy, we love them and we respect them. When it comes to citizens of South Chilani, we don't see color. They are blessed, if you know, say, boy, at least they have a politician. Whether you want orange, you want green, you want white, no matter. I want to be member of parliament for South Chilani. Darren for 19 years was a member of parliament for the Jamaica Labour Party. The difference, Paul Portmore will be a member of parliament for Southern Chilani. And that will include all PNP, all JLP, all independent person. Everybody, all Rasta, every Christian. That are the difference between Paul Portmore and Mama D. That's why I'm asking you, Dave, if you have any good friends over in South Chilani, tell them to come out early, vote for the People's National Party so that Paul Portmore can be their next member of parliament and make a change, make a difference in South Chilani and make the people proud. We're going to make Chilani great again. Because in the 70s, we are going good in. In the 70s under Belinfanti, we are going good. 1980 election, they too rough in political violence. So right through the entire time, Brascoli never get the whole thing together because they use, you say if you use violence to win an election, you must have to maintain. There are certain things we have to maintain. Something we have to maintain for the entire time. 90s under PJ Patterson, we try our best. But I can tell you that under this member of parliament, she's so biased and one-sided that's the reason why we don't see no growth. She just believes the boy if a man they are PNP and a man. So we use not even day for day you can't have man. We want to get back even when you look at a place like Joe, Greentown. We want the man to start work back day for day in one other ground. Whether you want PNP or JLP, go and go work day for day. You help me today, me help you tomorrow. That's what we want to bring back in a South Chilani. When we live at Hill 60 at we used to do, when we plant Irish potato, I saw it work. I'm going to go plant potato, I'm planting sow carrot today. Everybody can help one man. And then tomorrow, everybody go back on our next man ground. Yeah, man, because the workers, them not go hold you hostage if you not change your ways. As farmers, we need to get back together and start support each other again. That's why when we see like people like Dave from over in the center, we don't spare them no mind because we have so much things we talk about on the live to make Dave distract you. We have so much things, but people almost 3 hours with them on the live. It was a good show. Dave, make sure you follow me. Follow me there. Subscribe. Go and subscribe. Yeah, you know if you hide from the PNP page, there's so much things to learn. Don't hide from the PNP platform. Then. Just enjoy more than him with it. Oh, PN, so JLP will win 3 or 4. And I want to go on with the JLP now. You believe say JLP will win 3 or 4. Okay. All right, sir. Yeah, man. Roxanne, nobody pay Dave no mind, man. Dave no understand what go on over in a South Chilani. But me I go do a bit, Dave. As soon as the election calls, that's why I say subscribe to the page. Because say as long as you're not disrespectful, I know like we are going to block you can always come next so we are here again on a Friday night. We are going there live and you can join me and we hold a reason. And you can take Dave, Friday when you come write out your seats, them where your feel say the JLP are going win. Right in Jamaica. Because you sound like somebody where we say the JLP are going to win 50 seats and the PNP are going to win 10. Yeah, man. No man, the JLP now can have a platform. You know. They now can have a platform. The platform now go nowhere. The platform them now go nowhere. You have to come, they now go have no vibes. You have them have to join the PNP platform, them and go on. Whole a reason. But this are the vibes. Eh? JLP now we're again, man. The time up now. But one thing we know, there are some nice people, especially the one them over in South Chilani, they labor right them. Because anytime you hear them say they ain't done with somebody, they ain't done with them. There's nothing where Darimpo can do for win back the heart of the Jamaica Labour Party in a South Chilani. She can't do nothing at all. The people them done a war up. 80% of who used to vote, so they done with her. They with a city out. Some of them say, Mr. Portmore, I can't vote against my party. But we now go vote for Mama D. Come on. Okay, all right. So Friday, you can't tell me how much am I going to win. How much am I going to win, sir? So, I don't think you believe so they can win, go win back 49 where they have. So maybe you say 30, you are one of them with might say 32 seats. Maybe then we win 32 according to you. If you feel so then we win 32 seats, Dave, you're still with how that 32 they go. The probably concern where you shouldn't have now is if Andrew Holness can win his seat. Because it might be hard. So you know, can see him on the road and run up and down. You know, because things are going to get tighter. So you now can come now, can help Crystal Lee. Crystal Lee now will get that support when he used to get from Andrew Holness. The Andrew Holness down there campaign and I help him campaign. That support, they won't be there. Yeah, man. 37. Oh, okay. All right, so go and tell me the 37 seat. I can't bet so you're not going to so Chilani night, because even though you're depending on your way of mouth, you know, say, I know it's not a seat where you can, you know, say, though, Dave, it's the first time since 1989 that the jail, that they don't have South Chilani as a safe seat for the JLP. If you notice the little gleaner thing where they put out, South Chilani was not a safe seat for the JLP for the first time since 1989. Every time, South Chilani was almost like next to Tivoli. Next to Tivoli Garden was South Chilani. It's the first time South Chilani could not end up in the safe seat for the JLP. They have it as likely to win. And if they say likely, that means say likely that the PNP can win it. That's how they use the word likely, Sir Dave. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So I saw you go. First time. So that's why we're proud of ourselves. We are putting in the work. Yes, I think the PNP will get around close to 48. Close to 48 seats. So my people, good night. The word is love. Remember, everyone, please sow a seed in the Paul Portmore campaign. You can just send me $1,000 via my Western Union. You can just give me a call at 876-443-2153 and just send me the tracking number. Only $1,000 Jamaican dollars. As long as you're an upstanding Jamaican citizen at this time of the game, please make a contribution to Paul Portmore. Yeah, man. Bless up, Dave. Enough respect. See you Friday. Yeah, man. Good night. Good night. Good night, comrades. Good night, everyone. Enough love. Bless up yourself. One love. One love. Enough respect. Yeah, man. Remember to subscribe to my channel. Please subscribe. Please subscribe. Hit the subscription button and hit the bell. That's when I go live, you will be notified. Enough respect. Share. Good night.